No intro for today. I wanted to give a little replay feedback of what was said yesterday when it came down to females in the industry, females in general, certain ones, not all. Because when I look back and everything, and generally speaking, do I feel that black women are the most destructive people on the face of this planet? No, I don't. But they do contribute a lot to what's up, young? They do contribute to a lot of chaos. And this is the one things that I say. We really need to take a look at and we really need to contribute to a couple of things. Number one, when I said yesterday it starts at the home, I mean when I say it starts at the home. What you teach your children has will have an effect on everything. Everything that they say, everything that they do. What are you educating your kids on? When they go to school, what are the teachers teaching them? What curriculum wise and everything else. It all starts with us. And I figure I'd take some time to reflect on what I said yesterday, which was the right thing. Um, I don't know Sexy Red personally, nor do I care to. But here's the thing. If I were in a face to face meeting Sexy Red, do you think she would absolutely listen to anything that I say? No, because money corrupts. Money corrupts a man, money corrupts a woman. But there are others in the industry that would absolutely positively would have a sit down. I would say somebody like Suki Hana, who was straightened up a little, not a lot. I believe she would be like a 50-50 type of a person. Oh, this is Umar, of course. Um, but I just don't want to get on focus on the women in the industry. I want to focus on the women that we see in our everyday lives, not just family wise, but public. We see ratchetness on the street all the time, in clubs on the street when they taking their little camera phone and they're doing this. You know, we see it all the freaking time. And all I'm gonna say is this: we need to leave destructive women where they belong. We just need to leave them where they're at. Hey, Sheila, I didn't see you there. We need to leave them where they are at. Hold up until they at least straighten up, which is kind of hard for an adult to do. If you're young, you don't need to be out there, causing a whole ruckus, shaking your ass, and causing a whole bunch of havoc and shit. You don't need to be doing all that. But what I'm going to ask you, because every man expects, and uh, every man expects a woman to behave like a lady, including myself. Just like every woman expects for a man to be a gentleman, I expect for a woman to act like a lady. Because that's what I grew up on. I grew up on women young ladies who act like women, mature, responsible adults with common sense, which is rare, very, very rare nowadays. But in a society where um, agendas happen all the time, and it's due to the fact of white supremacy, it's due to the fact that every all the trick bags come out when it comes to these LBGTQ movements and everything else that you can think of, whether it be a coronavirus or whatever's coming down the street for us. They are literally trying to take us out one batch at a time, taking taking Black history out the schools and everything else. It's just gentrification, moving Venezuelans in here. It's all a mess. It's all a real big mess. So I came with feeling sorrowful. I came feeling sorrowful because of the arguments that are being happening back and forth through men and women in the sector. Some are good, some are not so good. And can there be some improvement? Absolutely. Can there be improvements? Abso-freaking-lutely. But we can't follow this riffraff. We can't follow this bullshit. We just can't keep constantly following this bullshit, because I see what it does. I see what it does to young ladies. I see what it does to young men. With a sexy red like that, going to NXT, going to the WWE, and shaking her ass on stage with thousands and thousands watching upon millions of people watching nationwide. And the only thing you can do is appear like a whore on stage. What am I supposed to do with that? And my kid is sitting right there. My kid, I don't even know how the tickets were. Tickets were like $500 to sit where I paid to sit and to see your little scrawny little nasty ass the first time out. No. People get tired of that. Even white folks get tired of that. When her music came on, nobody. I mean, there was Negroes in the crowd. Obviously, you got part of the Black community. You know, it's a given. It's a given. So, and then don't get me started on Cardi B, because Cardi B is another example. I mean, you showing your face online, talking shit. I mean, you just another troublemaker, and you absolutely talk too goddamn much. Meg the Stallion, she's a distraction. She's a whole damn distraction, and but it's interesting, right? She's on that particular side, the Democratic side, right? Nobody that I've talked to wants anything to do with Meg the Stallion and her bullshit just because she's supporting Kamala Harris, right? They're going to support Donald Trump, not me. But the brothers that I know and I spoke to and I hear a lot, they're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Right? They're not. They're not going to. They're not going to do that. So what they're going to do is they're going to vote. They're going to vote Republican, not because they want to, but because they want to get paid. They just want to get paid. And I don't want to go on a whole rant on the voting either. My wife asked me a random question. It's like, who are you going to vote for? I'm like, oh, you don't never talk about voting. Never. But if you want to know, if you must ask, I vote for none of the above. So yeah, we need to leave. It's not just the people not just the women in the industry, but we need to leave some of these men in the industry as well. But there's a reason why I have Sexy Red and Cardi B. We need to leave people who are a distraction. We need to leave them by the wayside. Don't buy her shit. Don't buy none of her stuff. Don't buy nothing of a sort. Do not buy any of her stuff. Just don't. Leave her in the dust. Leave her in the dust. If you want better, you'll do better. This is the same with any relationship. If you want a better relationship, you'll do better by her. If you want a relationship, you will do better by him. You will do better by him. And this is the reason why I say conversations are so important. Conversations, being truthful and honest with yourselves. And if if you know the relationship's not going to work, if you know you just want a buddy, if you just want a friend, if you just want the friends with benefits, that's cool. But tell the truth. Tell the truth. We don't need destructive women like Sexy Red in our midst anymore. We just don't. We just don't. And it's weird coming from me. I like Meg Thee Stallion. I like Cardi B. I don't like Sexy Red. Sexy Red is to me one of the worst rappers in hip hop. She is one of the worst ones. She can't fucking freestyle for shit. Excuse my baby language. That's interesting though. She has only one trait. We all know what that is. We all know what it is. We all know what that is. Now, with that being said, with that out the way, I didn't get a chance to do my Umar shit yesterday. So I'm going online, right? Just looking, arguing with people, arguing with ops. Shouts out to Christopher J. Shouts out to my nigga Christopher J. I'm looking at my IG post. Shouts out to Christopher J, dog. I don't watch his goddamn. And these are Fatty's out of control. Fatty's just out of control right now. Just because he formed his opinion, said it. He said it in front of the world. He was being truthful. and not fall in line with none of this horse shit that either Red Pill Fatty or everybody else got to say. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. Christopher J is this, Christopher J is that. I'm like, you got some freaking nerve. Now, let me not get started with that mo. Let me not get started because I'll end up whatever. I'm going through the internet and I'm looking for a little bit of Umar content. And look who I find. Erno hardly ever does Umar content. Let's see what he does. Let's see what it is. I don't even know why I did that. Hold on. Let's see what he's talking about over here. He hardly ever does any type of Umar content. Worldwide. Hold on a second. Victim card. What's this? Oh, okay, cool. All right. That's the victim card. Let me play that. He hardly ever does any Umar content. What's this all about? Fair use.
I do think that if you are not the primary caretaker of the child, then you should definitely be paying some level of child support. I don't have no problem with that. We all agree to that? All right, cool. So we at least have a baseline of understanding, right? We don't believe in being no bum or nothing like that. We believe in the baseline. All right, so now let us get to Dr. Umar. Okay, he was recently on the podcast of comedian Donnell Rawlings. Okay, I forgot his nickname, but y'all know what I'm talking about. But they were speaking about some serious topics in conversation, and this one came up. Oh yeah, Ashy. There we go. That's Ashy Larry. I hope he got rich off of that. I really do. I hope all these men get this money that they rightfully deserve. Okay, now let's get into the video.
Do you think in our community that Black men are frustrated with the perception?
You're leaving me?
For a TurboTax expert who charges me less but gives me more. Sing it, Adam.
Black women have had of men, the put downs.
Absolutely, Black men are frustrated with the perception that Black women have of us, but we're partly responsible for that.
How so?
I'll give you. Let me give you this one. I believe that if Black men today, right now,
he's about to get into what Black men have to do right now.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I know. He about to get into it. Now, look, I don't necessarily like the image that's put out there, but I'm starting to like the newer image that's starting to get put out there. It's starting to get a little bit better. We're starting to get a little bit more side. We're starting to see the differences. So it's getting gradually better, but it's going to take some time. But Dr. Umar said we are responsible for how women view us in our image and all that, right? So he's about to present a way to effectively change that. And let's see if this is something y'all agree that can be done.
Responsible for that.
How so?
I'll give you. Let me give you this one. I believe that if Black men today, right now, you and I and all of our brothers, there's about 20 million African men in this country. If we would just take responsibility of the raising and the protecting and the educating and the succeeding of our boys, if we just told Black women that we are now responsible for all the boys, y'all got the girls, we got the boys.
And I'm with you 100%. I am 1,000.
Stay with me, Brother Donnell. If we did that, I believe Black women would begin to respect Black men again. One of the biggest reasons our women are so frustrated with us, they don't see us taking responsibility for the raising of men. And in African culture, teaching boys to be men is always the responsibility of the men.
I agree with you.
Village. It is never the responsibility of the women. And for me, as a school psychologist, nothing upsets me more, Brother Donnell, than when I go to a community football game, I go to
right there. Let's stop right there. Dr. Umar says that the way we get the love admiration back from women is to take care of the raising, the protecting, the education of the boys. Let them have the girls. Y'all agree with that?
Nah, I think for some women, yeah, I'm sure that it'll help. But some women, it's just they don't give a fuck. They don't care about that, man. They're gonna be disrespectful. They're gonna be whatever they're gonna be. I just really don't know if it's gonna move the needle. To be 100% honest, I do think it'll make us more respectful, respectable. I do think it will mend some things in the community, but I just don't see on a large scale people changing who they are.
Ain't some better than none. And when you get some things done, it's better than nothing. Better than nothing at all. And this is where I get, this is where I start laughing. Because mainly these would be the people who would start bitching and complaining. But quite frankly, it's been stellar so far, thus far. Let's continue.
And when I say people, I mean those women. I just don't see it. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see it.
How about you, Lee?
Yeah, man, I don't see it either. Is he talking about like just regular men taking care of other people's babies, or is he talking about like the men take care of their babies that they created? Because he didn't really.
He talking about what I've been talking about for a long time. It's men's job to fix our community. Now, I agree with that part. I just don't agree that it's going to have that effect on women to make them now become respectful. A disrespectful person is disrespectful by choice. You know what I'm saying? It's not a matter of circumstance. When me and Lee get into an argument, we disrespect each other by choice. When Aaron gets mad, Aaron don't go to disrespect because he chooses not to. We choose to. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know, it won't change nothing because men are gonna make the same mistake that Two-Time made. They're gonna get with the lowest version of us. I've heard men up here say that they don't even want an educated woman. So again, it ain't gonna change nothing if you still gonna have sex with a woman that's that girl that we just said ain't shit. You know?
Well, let me be fair. I really don't likely that much, but I will be fair and I'll say this. Leave all the people who don't want to participate in the dust, as Dusty, as Dusto would say. Those who want to participate in the movement of being better men to our children, especially Black boys who are being exposed by these familiars. I'm sorry for the Blade reference. Who are being who are vulnerable, not exposed, but vulnerable. I said the wrong word. When they're being vulnerable because they don't know what's going on. Kids do not know what is happening until it's fed to them, and then they have to come home and ask us questions if both parents are in home. If both parents are in home and my son comes to me and says, why is there colored rainbows in our school, which ain't never happening? Why is it that I see a man kissing a man and then I have to elaborate and I have to tell him the truth? I don't want to have to go through all that. I don't want to have to go through all the turmoil that these children are facing.
Men gotta be better at who they choose to have a baby with would be the first thing. Like, we would have to be incredible at that shit. Like, no more babies should ever be made by a thought. No
identifying.
Hi, we're Visible. We offer one-line wireless plans with no hidden fees for just $25 a month on Verizon's 5G network. One flat rate every single month. Unlimited data included. Your wireless should be visible. Cue the confetti. Switch at visible.com.
Educated person, right? Because no educated women. What does that mean, and how are we to actually critique that, right? You see what I'm saying? Because I don't know if you mean that they have to go to college and get a degree for you to identify them as educated, and that's how mostly it is done with conversation with people.
I think majority, yeah, they need to have education, just like the men need to have an education or some trade or degree. But if not, conversation. Just like you said, through conversation, people think that Aaron O got a degree. How? Why? Why do they think that? That's how you defined it. By how and why do they think that Aaron O has a degree? Because of the way you articulate yourself, because the way you carry yourself in a conversation, the way you're not able to quickly cut people off. This is proper etiquette of just humans in general, socially. And if when you talk to most of these women, and I've done it when I was single, I was dating women, and just as fast as I met them, I dipped on them. Because we conversating, and then out of nowhere, you just say nigga. Or out of nowhere, you start using these ghetto ass languages. I'm like, oh, yo. One time I told the girl, yo, I might go to the bathroom and just dipped. Just dipped on her. And that's what us as men need to do. Exclude all the, because yo, we go, man, I got the money now. Let me go get a baddie. Nah, let me go get the next Senate of DC. Because there's women that are that. Let me go get her. Let me go get the next chief of police woman. Let me go get a police officer as a woman. But nah, in our culture, nah, hell nah. She don't need to have education. All she got to do is cook, clean, be feminine, friendly, and whatever the fuck that shit is. We have terrible perceptions on what we think a good woman is. So I think that his thing is not going to work. I think it's about never having a thought should be devoid of kids. A chick that's uneducated should be no kid should ever even come in their vicinity until they're able to prove themselves to men. And then this is when I would start looking at men at a higher level, but you can't because all they do is go get the thoughts.
Well, just for clarification, you do believe they should have a college degree. So you believe we should request evidence of such actions?
If you want, hell yeah. If you want, yeah.
How else? Or because if you walk up to a woman, can you guess her body count?
I'm not talking about body count though.
But
yeah, sometimes I can. Sometimes I can.
But no, I'm saying this is important because if you saying a girl is a thought, right? The one thing women keep saying is you don't know how many people I slept with. So I'm saying women are saying we know how to hide stuff and it works. So that's why I said, how do we quantify it? Because I'm like, okay, she may be a thought, but we don't know. She moved here from Jersey to Miami. And
she's still gonna give you thought energy. Yeah. Trust me. Just put her around a guy like me. I'll bring the thought right out of her. Put her around Antonio. Antonio make her. Antonio, you know what I mean? Like, bro, you put her around that right guy, and she will reveal thoughtness, bro. Trust me. Trust me. Maybe you not that guy that she gonna reveal it. Like, if a woman, like, and like, yo, the thought part really not the big deal to me. You know, I don't think she should have a baby. Is all I'm really saying. She shouldn't have a baby if she gonna be thoughting. But the uneducated women, you know, the women that deal in like a prostitution type of mindset, whereas I'm gonna get these men for what.
Now look, just being fair, a chick can be a thought for you, but not be a thought in general. You could just be that nigga. You know what I'm saying?
And that's that too.
Just saying.
So the thought part is, but the uneducated part.
No,
should be no
Sean,
bueno.
no. It sounds like you're trying to change a 304 into a house. We just went through this with Cardi. No.
Oh no, I'm just saying that I'm that nigga. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying she might fuck first date fuck me. That don't mean she gonna first date fuck me and vice versa. You feel me?
This is becoming insanity right now. Okay.
What?
Okay. All right, man. Let me introduce the one, the only, the notoriously loved Dr. Brownsville is in the building. Okay. Wrong button.
Brownsville.
I always click the wrong button. My apologies, man. I always click the wrong button. It's a bad habit of mine. I don't know why.
Peace and love, man. First of all, man, peace and love to the kings on the panel.
Google Fi Wireless has flexible phone plans that keep your family safe and connected. They're
Peace and love to all the kings and queens in the chat, man. Aaron O, I believe Dr. Umar is correct in his assessment when it comes to Black women respecting Black men again, right? We have to get to the point where the Black men in our community, where we become willing to fix the brokenness within our community, right? And Dr. Umar, he made the point that if we would at least tell our women that, hey, we at least will take care of the boys and raise them as good, upstanding men, right? He's talking about making sure that each and every one of the boys, in order to become men, they're recalibrating their value systems, right? They're going to have a good sense of structure, stability, masculinity, and leadership, right? Now, the problem that we have is when Black men are still kicking up against it and rejecting it, right? It's saying, no, why should we have to do it, right? Why should we have to get involved in mentoring young Black boys? To me, when I hear those kind of things, it's disheartening, right? Because even now, I am mentoring 8 kids that don't belong to me, that I didn't create, right? And I am dedicating myself to make sure that they have a recalibrated value system, to make sure that they're worshiping a higher power. They have honor, they have integrity, they have loyalty, they understand self-reflection, they understand how to take accountability, they understand how to ascribe themselves to responsibility, and they understand how to be loyal, right? I'm also teaching them how to communicate, specifically with women, right? Not like the Rim brothers are teaching people how to communicate, but to uplift the women, to get back into the natural order of manhood, which is to protect women and children. And that's all Dr. Umar is speaking about, right? So why are men rejecting that message?
Well, let's talk about it. So I didn't give my thoughts on it yet because I want to get everybody else's thoughts because I knew what he said and I've had time to sizzle on it, right? I don't know if you think there's a difference between a single dad raising a child and a single mom raising a child. Do you think that in either or, do you think one has a higher success rate, or do you think it's pretty like it's pretty even? The outcome could be anything.
I believe that it's better for men to raise boys to become men, and for women to raise girls to become women. I think that's logical, Aaron. No.
Okay, so no. I hear your answer. Now obviously, if I have a daughter and I don't have a son, you think the child should still be raised by both of us. But if the choice had to be made, give the child to the mom and vice versa. Okay, I got it. right? So the reason that I take a little bit of disagreement with Dr. Umar is because I live in today's time. And I don't believe that women will respect a man for raising the child, and them having to pay child support. See, because I originally asked the question to Sean, do you think the person that is not the primary caretaker of the child should be paying child support if they're not the primary caretaker? And he said, yeah, because in a person's default mind, they think, oh yeah, if you ain't there in the home, you're not taking care of your child or something, you do need to pay that woman child support. But in this scenario, the mother is saying, here, son, go to your daddy for him to raise you. He's going to be the primary caretaker, educator, and protector of the child. I do believe I should be the primary educator of our children. So I get that aspect. But the mom paying me to raise my child, I don't see any woman in high understanding to say, because children cost. So if the mother had just a child herself, she still would be requesting child support. So the reverse should be the same. If I'm the primary caretaker of a child, yeah, I'm going to do the educate and protect it, but send that money over here too. You think we get respect if she had to pay to be a parent as well?
God dang it. Thank you. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, I'm not taking my wife, if I ever divorce, to the child support court. We're gonna sit there and we're gonna form some affidavit or whatever. Thank you, by the way. We're gonna form some affidavit, and then we're gonna say, look, yo, we're gonna do this, and this, and you're gonna have the children this week. I'm gonna have the children next week, and we're gonna go back and forth until our child turns 18, and we won't have to deal with it no more. It shouldn't have to be that way. I shouldn't have to take my wife to court, and she shouldn't have to take me to court either, because they say, I mean, this is just me, what I'm hearing. Men often, a lot often, are being taken to court and have to pay for child support. But here's the thing, there's not even a list of things that woman has spent that we can't check on to see if she's spending it, that money is being spent on that child. We don't see it. We do not see it. What do you mean we? Wait, let me go back. They. My bad. They, not me. They. Oh shit.
But you see what you just did?
I didn't do anything.
So Dr. Umar is having a conversation about men stepping up to the plate, raising men, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
what you did, Aaron,
Mhm.
is, well, what about the woman?
Just how extreme is Drew Johnson? He supports letting politicians ban abortion with no exceptions, even to save a woman's life. And he wants to cut Social Security by 30%. Drew Johnson is too extreme.
They start winching you up and you get to like 20 feet and you're like, ooh, it's quite high. And then you keep going up and suddenly you're at 65 feet in the air. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. It's
a lot.
fucking scary.
Yeah.
And so he was playing the music to kind of get me in the zone, blaring out of the speakers, this beautiful, beautiful score. And I thought I was going to pee my pants. I was so scared. And if I looked down, Lin-Man,
I didn't do that.
Once again, the number one rim brother tactic is to put it back on the woman, right? Oh, so now since we're coming to this agreement as men, because there's two men talking, right?
Mhm.
It was Dr. Umar talking to another brother about what his proposal is to solve the respect issue between women and men, right? And he proposed that men take a step up. We talked about men stepping up, right?
He proposed it.
Right? So that's what his message was. And now I'm talking to you, brother Aaron, and instead of you talking about men stepping up, you talking about, well, hey, if men stepping up, then we got to add a caveat to where the women are now helping the men step up.
Yes. So I'm breaking down what he said and how men can gain respect. So women are part of the conversation. I don't ever need to blame nobody, right? My own life is a reflection of my actions, right? I'm saying in this scenario, I don't believe women will respect any man if they have to pay him child support for their own child. I don't. Now, if you're saying, yes, we get the primary caretakers of our son and all this, and she paying us.
Oh my goodness. It all reflects to the most smallest, the most ridiculous things. When it comes to Aaron's smarter than that. He's smart. He's smart. But today I see through the nonsense. It always goes back to, well, can the woman pay child support? Well, can we stick to the boys? Can we just stick to that? Can we just stick to, are you willing to take care of our sons? Can we stick to that for now? All this other junk we could talk about later. Can we agree to this? It's that simple, y'all.
Like, these men need to step up. If you're okay with that, then we're in agreement. I believe this conversation is based upon a man that receives no support for his child from the mother financially, even though we all agree that a child costs money. And if you're the primary caretaker of a child, the other parent should be paying for that child some child support. We all agreed upon this until it was a scenario in which the woman had to do the paying. Then, of course, you pop up and go, dun, 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 dun. No woman should have to pay. You're a real man. You about to do this whole spill and stuff. And that's cool. But I just don't believe we're going to get no respect if what's done is the right thing, which is to pay. Hey, here you go. Raise a child. Here goes some money. Raise that. And we good. I don't believe men are turning down money from women that want to pay them to raise their children. I don't think so.
But and here's the thing, right? And that is the mentality that's going to continue to hinder our community, right? Because men, for some odd reason, they always want some type of handout, right? Either it's one or two things. Either they want to complain about women, or they want women to just hand them out extra benefits, right? Men, listen, men and women aren't equal. We got to understand that.
Say it again, please. Please say it again.
Men and women aren't equal,
Thank
right?
you.
They're not equal under the law.
Under God's law.
You have a no. you have a legal obligation to pay for your child, men and women. Facts or no facts?
This is where it goes left. And this is the reason why we can't have conversations, because everything that is signed, legal, and binding, let's just say, for example, there's always going to be stipulations when it comes to certain individuals. Well, can this be this because this, and this, and this? If she hands the kids to me, then she should hand that money to me. We were just talking about kids 5 minutes ago, and we agreed. But now all of a sudden, there's some stipulations. Can we just agree to this? No, I'm just saying, though, it's only right for the man to get paid by the woman since she no longer wants to have that child. In Brownsville, right on the money.
Get more from your tax pro and spend less. Switch to a TurboTax.
Oh yeah, you in my world over here, Mr. Brownsville. This is the Aaron O land right here.
You're talking legally. Yes, you're correct, right? I get what you're saying. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong, right? What I'm saying is what you're saying is not going to solve the problems, right? And as long as you keep that weaker form of mentality of a man, we're going to continue to regress instead of progress, right? You see, the issue is this. We men have to understand that God intended for us to maintain the higher burden, right? To not put the heavier burden on our woman, right? To take charge, to solve problems, to be leaders, right? And to figure out how to be successful in life and take care of our families, right? And what has happened is men has regressed to this point to where you're speaking of this house husband, soft guy era, weak man era type of situation.
I'm speaking to Umar, sir. I'm speaking specifically to Umar.
Even have a conversation about
No, you're not.
Stepping to the plate and doing more without you.
Come on, Aaron. You're smarter than that.
If I got to do more, she got to do more. Right? It's always some type of comparison with a woman or competing with a woman.
You on my show, and you know you can't get away with this. I never said she had to do more. We all agreed. Sean, you hear this stuff, Sean. I make me do this.
He was talking supplement. He wasn't talking more. He was talking supplement. When the woman has the kid, the man, our job is to supplement if you don't have custody. What Aaron was speaking to was, if like you said, if the man has a kid, then the woman has to supplement in some way. She has to put in somehow. She can't just kick back and just get mani-pedis and watch TV all day. She got to do something to put on for this community. I'm like you. I've been on YouTube for a long time saying everything in the black community is up to the black men to fix, to lead. My only thing is I don't think that guarantees that all black women will then be like, oh my God, he's respectable. I think I never heard you or Aaron O curse nobody out. That's because
it's not. It's when you say all that's a broad picture. That's a broad picture that every woman, every black woman is going to be respected. But you got to peel that onion. You got to peel the layer of that onion and slowly have women respect men again. But you have to take the lead as a man. You have to take the lead as a lead. Women are weaker sex, right? So why not? Why not take the reins and say, we will no longer have this stuff happening to our boys. And then we can figure out all this other stuff later.
That's not on the menu for y'all. Y'all not gonna do that. It's not an option in terms of online. I don't know what you do in real life, but maybe for me, sometimes I lose my temper. You know what I'm saying? But a person who like if you don't smoke weed, I don't smoke weed. I don't drink right now, so it's not an option. I'm just saying, like, for people who are disrespectful, we choose to be disrespectful in those times. Some people choose to never be disrespectful. I don't think people who currently choose to be disrespectful will all of a sudden be like, you know what, I'm going to be respectful to these people. They're going to be disrespectful.
Well, Sean, you got to understand what Dr. Umar is talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about community-wise,
mm-hmm.
how men can get more respect from our women
mm-hmm.
because of the situation and circumstances that the black man has put our people in, right? And here's the thing. See, Aaron, no, when you're talking about this reciprocity thing, or you're talking about, hey, well, you got to do something thing, right? I've mentioned to y'all, I'm into 8 boys right now, right? Do you think I'm getting any supplement for that?
Mm-mm.
Do you think I expect any supplement for that? No, because in order to progress our community forward, there's going to have to be some sacrifices made by black men. And we cannot always be looking for supplements. That's not what Dr. Umar is talking about. Dr. Umar is talking about, hey, what can we do to extend ourselves further to maintain a heavier burden, remove some of the burden from our women by and large. And if we do that, if our women see us stepping up by and large to that point, right? So we listen, in his situation that he's talking about, those Rim brothers, no good suckers, they won't be online complaining about single mothers anymore, right? Because there's always going to be a man that's going to fill in the gap and take that boy and raise him up to be a man, an upstanding man, right?
Bruh.
So solving problems because the women are taking care of the daughters, right? And the men are taking care of the sons, right? And what Dr. Umar's vision is, what he's saying is, if the men step up and raise these boys into strong men, right? That by itself is going to put the woman in position to now come back under the leadership of the man, because guess what? Now men are going to become better problem solvers. Now men are going to become more honorable. They're going to have more integrity. They're going to have more self-reflection.
I think Aaron, he agrees to everything that he's saying, but in truth, the pettiness is going to come out. Because like I said, he's smarter than that. He knows what the right thing is to do. I'm not buying into this that he's not even read, but he is for what he would call pandering to the men, whatever. But he's smarter than this. He knows what Brownsville is saying. He knows what Dr. Umar is saying is true. So let's not play this game.
Right? They're going to have more masculine traits of a man because another man has shown them how to self-sacrifice, has shown them how to put themselves to duty, have shown them how to be benevolent towards women and children.
Yep.
All of those things necessary that we need to
the problem is, this is the problem, right? I never made reference to even supplements. I think people should do what they are obligated to do. And as a mother of a son, you're
at Byberg Small Business Insurance, we cover all kinds of small businesses.
You're obligated to provide for your child. If I have a child and I say, hey, look, I ain't gonna be around, go to your mama. And she like, yeah, okay, so you're not gonna be able to be around as much and do what you gotta do? Nah, I'm gonna send you some dollars though. Okay, thank you for at least sending some money. That's the least you can do, is what they say. So I'm saying, look, legally, the least a woman can do is also pay child support while that man is being the primary provider, caretaker, educator, protector of the boys. And I'm saying we won't get no respect if they have to pay. Now, if we just did it and they ain't had to pay no money for their own child, we probably would get respect, right? And I'm saying we are giving, you're saying men and women are not the same. Well, unless you want to distinguish who is better, which I'm not sure if you're willing to do, the women have been getting congratulated. Oh, thank you so much for holding down when the man left and you stayed, while getting supplemental support while doing that. They were not accomplishing these goals without no supplemental support. So when you say they stepped up, well, if you show me women that are stepping up with no supplemental support, then I'd be like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. Most of these references are with women that have supplemented support, that are stepping up. And a large scale of them have been supported by government funding, which is totally fine because the large majority of the community, we poor and broke, remember? So I'm aware of that. So I'm just saying, I don't believe this will work, Mr. Umar, because we can't.
No, you're just petty. You are very, very petty. And it's okay. It's okay. We just won't choose you to help solve our problems because you're just going horizontal. When we're going vertical, and if I see a brother or sister going horizontally, I was like, I can't rock with you right now. Because we've been going through this whole horizontal issues for too many years, too many decades. All this shit needs to go. What are we going to do to move on? Listen, if I could get my wife to take care of my daughter, that's fine. I will take care of my son. And then if we get there, we will come together and we will come as one. I'm still disciplining my daughter. I'm still going to discipline my daughter, and my wife is going to discipline my son. But to teach my daughter how to become a man's man, that's not good. That doesn't fly. It's like my wife teaching my son how to become a woman. That's not gonna fly. Can we deal with one thing at a time? No, it's not going to work because the woman is not going to give us any money. Because we've been dealing with this thing for so who gives a rip? Stop screwing people that you shouldn't be screwing. Ain't that right, Sheila? Stop screwing people that you shouldn't be screwing. And I say for the same for the women too. Women open up their legs for the wrong reasons, and men penetrate for the wrong reasons. If you want to just hit, wear a condom. That's it. And then I'll get to hear, oh, did the women wear the cut? This is the reason why I say, we leave you in the dust. Where's Dusto when you need him? Where is Dusto? I need Dusto on the show.
Can't get respect if a woman does what she is supposed to do and monetarily provide for her child. They will only respect the man if they don't have to put any financial money into their own child while a man is doing all these things, which fine, but that's not technically right because he's the primary caretaker and children cost money. So you're not only talking about sacrifice, you're talking about going above and beyond, not just above.
But you're a man, right? Just like I'm a man, right? I make money just like you make money. And statistically, you go by statistics, men make more money than the women, right? So, and we always hustling. We always hustling. We always gonna get that bag, right? Me and you, we gonna get that bag, right? So for purposes, why does she need to give up her money? What, you starving? I thought she was the man, homie. Well, we didn't need women like that, homie. We do fine all by ourselves, right? Why do I need a woman's money? Unless she is a deadbeat. Unless she's accusing, unless she's beating up on my child, molesting my child, then yeah, I'm gonna get that money up from her. Definitely so. But all this pettiness, that's just pettiness. No. Hang on. You're right. It's not gonna work with y'all. It may work with Brownsville. I don't know. Yeah, likely. I don't know. Brownsville, yes. Like everybody, I don't know. I don't know because I only know them through Sharon's channel. I've known Aaron for years. Okay. I know how he thinks, and he thinks like a thinking man's man. Which sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But overall, it's going to be me in Brownsville. It's just going to be me in Brownsville because we're on the same train, going the same direction. These people are literally going like this. But what if? But what if? But what if? But what if? I'm sick and tired of these what ifs.
You want above and beyond. And you want to sell to people as if everybody has the capabilities to go above and beyond. And everybody does not. Everybody has the capabilities to go above, but not the beyond, buddy. And that's what my gripe is. Dr. Umar, he is not even going to even be doing these actions. Now, I believe he's talking about men raising their own children. I don't necessarily believe he's talking about men just raising all the kids in the community getting together, because I could make the argument that one man could raise 7 kids then. So we really don't need all men to do that. Some of the men can be a bunch of losers. We just need a few good men to raise them. And that was the argument, and that's not what he's presenting. He's saying the men need to do this and men need to do that. I think primary caretakers of children should be financially compensated because that's the way it has always been. But I don't think men get respected if they are what you call supplemented by things that people should legally do.
I agree, Aaron, with that. With your sentiment and your breakdown of it. I didn't see the Umar video, but just when I was talking about it, I can understand a little bit what you're talking about. To Brownsville's point, I understand what he's saying because I understand.
Switch to Google Fi Wireless today and start your phone plan right away. It's quick and easy and affordable.
And there's a difference between men and women, and there's a reason why things are what they are based on choices and our decisions. How we look at each other, how we treat each other, it makes sense.
This is We-On-Loc Nation channel. Who is there?
How you doing, my brother?
I am doing wonderfully. Sheila, how are you?
I am blessed. It's so funny. Me and my cousin were just talking about this today for like an hour or something. y'all guys really need to mentor these young guys because majority of them did not prepare to be in the father state. They have any kids with, I mean, come on, then the young lady.
Why are you always putting me in the mix?
I'm just saying for example, since you said you want to step up and do community stuff. That's one thing that we had addressed in the state of New York, because a majority of the guys having kids, they can't afford kids. Kids are expensive. Majority of girls having kids because they know the government gonna take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you have to put the fear in these guys to let them know, with you sitting up there having these kids, it's gonna come with child support. It's gonna come with a lot of responsibility. Because you look at the Black community, a lot of these guys who have any kids not take care of them.
Yeah.
And that's why we have a high rate in murder, robbery. I mean, come on, that come with drugs, a lot of mental illness, a lot of stuff when the father is not in the household. Again, as a woman, we cannot teach a little boy to how to be a man.
I understand. I understand your sentiment.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Go ahead.
It is a lot, and it's not. I can say it's not even our fault, but there are some responsibilities that we're just going to have to take care of. Like, for example, I said earlier that if it wasn't for this crazy ass system that we're under, where the government just take things on a whim just because they don't have enough money. We have programs under this old system, but since the new system has come up to the point where we can't even put our kids in a freaking program, after school programs, which I don't even think exists to this day, other than the big brother, little brother program that I was a part of.
A lot of New York, we still have programs like that upstate New York where I'm from. We have so many. That's why I said, again, it's not about the program. It's starting the home. Because you could use the program to a certain extent, but that child got to go back into that dysfunctional household.
Well,
that's what a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of our young boys and a lot of our young girls, even when they come to their mothers, I'll set an example. It's a lot of stuff going on there. A lot of people, y'all say it, they talk it, whatever, but y'all don't be knowing what's going on in that household.
I just thought of something. What if, just like when they put up billboards and all this other stuff, or they run commercials, every single time they run commercials, why don't we pay to have a commercial that says, if you are in the Black community and you are having troubles within your household, and you can run down the list of things, right? You know, whatever they may be, put it on that program of Friends, because they run commercials, they run that shit to the ground. Or let's just say, if they're, I don't even know what's going on. If the WWE or EXT was on Mondays or Tuesdays and they start running commercials, each and every single time a commercial runs, they run our commercial. And if you're dealing with heartbreak in your household within the Black community, right? If you're dealing with incest, if you're dealing with rape, if you're dealing with abuse, please come to such and such and such a center, and we will take care, and we will take care of you as well as we'll take care of your child. And this can be an after school program or something like that. Why can't we just do it? Just so many things I can even think of, but you have to have other people that have to agree. Now, if you have suggestions, that's cool too. I'm all ears.
Again, a lot of people don't understand. It's not up to the government to help us fix our household. They give you a little bit to leave you hanging. Because I'm just saying, because you look at a lot of people having kids, they can't afford these kids. Kids are expensive. You talking about education, you talking about life insurance, you talking about clothes, you talking about some programs. If you middle class, majority of middle class, our kids can't go to after school programs because we make too much money. So it's an income bracket that you under. Majority of after school programs is for low income.
It shouldn't even have to come down.
It's like that. I'm telling you, it's a lot of stuff that, again, if you can't afford a child, don't have no kids. Me and my cousin was just talking about this. Her niece.
It comes down to just that. It comes down to just that. If you can't afford them, don't have them.
Yeah,
because they are expensive. One alone is expensive, and I have two. So
and I have two too. And I have a grandson. So I mean, him alone is now my money go towards him. It's not cheap to make sure he gets his education, make sure different stuff. It's not cheap raising a child. But yeah, we could have 4 or 5 years. That's all right. Cause the government, we get food stamps, we get that. I mean, come on, all that's played out. Cause meanwhile, you having your kid in an environment that majority of them, I'm gonna keep it real. If they grow up to see 18,
Yeah.
They got the school system work with the jail system. By the time the child in 5th grade, they could tell they're gonna be in prison. Now, how's that?
Well, I ain't gonna let it get that far. I'm not gonna let it get that far, neither are you. Because
I didn't know that was they've been doing for years. They've been doing that since the 80s. I didn't know that until I ran for education.
I'm talking about in our household.
But no, yeah. And that's what we do.
We don't let it get that far. They ain't gonna let it get that far at all. Because I'll gladly give my right arm to make sure that my son and my daughter get number one, a good education, because they already got that already. 2, they're gonna hopefully they don't even have to work. Hopefully in my lifetime, they don't, in their mother's lifetime, they don't have to work. They don't have to have they have to have a certain skill. Hopefully it has to do with their mental mind, because I don't like them working with their hands. I would
like to know the percentage of these guys talking on a piano. How many have kids out of wedlock?
What the hell does that mean?
Who having kids with
that all my life, and I don't even know
that's old school. Having kids without being married, like old school call them bastards. Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that word either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How many who having kids is not married?
Well, I know Brownsville. I don't have to worry about him. He's married with children. I don't want to get into that.
If that's not the Brownsville from New York, is it?
Yep, it's Brownsville from New York.
Oh, that's the one used to troll all the time.
He would troll. With
the little bird.
If he trolls, that's a good troll right there to have.
No, if that's the one from New York.
He's from New York, I assume. But
okay, yeah, that's the one. That's my boy, bro. I never seen his face. Now he camming up. He used to troll all the time.
Oh, he's on Sharon's panel all the time.
Oh, okay, now he show his face. Yeah, he's a good troll, and he's real good. I mean, his channel real smart and stuff. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would like to know how many because I know Angry Man, he was saying about child support when he came on a lot, So yeah.
I've dealt with too many people, and one of them is BMU and his whole entire panel yapping away, yap about child support. And because he's from Texas. Texas is like the coup de grace of men going and paying child support. I'm like, I don't know what that means. I'm not even in that bracket. Like what he told me, right? It's like, even if the child turns 18, and don't quote me on this, if the child turns 18, they have to pay back child support, if that makes any sense at all.
No, they don't. If the child turn 18 and they're not caught up in their child support, they're still in arrears. That's what it is. So that means that when that child turn 18, they stop child support unless that child going to school. Now, if that child going to school, you still got to pay child support until that child's 21. They passed that law in the state of New York. But if you caught up in child support and that child don't go to school at 18, it cuts off. I know that. And then if you're in arrears, they could take your driver's license.
They could take your driver's license?
Yes. In New York, they take your driver's license. And then what they do, before they take your license, they give you a year to make sure you do to catch up. If you don't, then they take your license.
How the hell are you supposed to go back and forth?
That's what they're saying. You not do. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Yeah.
Passport, yes.
You didn't know that? They take the driver license.
I don't dwell in that realm.
See, when you sit up there and you advocate, you got to know all these laws and stuff. I didn't know that neither. I was telling my husband, he was like,
I don't have to deal with it. If I don't have to deal with it, because this is I'm still in my first marriage. If I don't have to deal with it, I don't have to deal with it.
I tell you, I had to do a lot of law sitting. I was like, what? So I would tell my husband, he's like, man, that's why he said, because back in the 80s and stuff, we already knew, like I said, the guys choose us. They already knew who they're going to be with. So they was already programmed to get married young and build their family and stuff, you know? So yeah, in New York, they take your driver's license.
So you mean to tell me that now I'm gonna have to look all this stuff up? Even my cousin,
I told you, yeah.
She's a lawyer. She's a lawyer, so I'll have to call her up. So you mean to tell me that even in certain states, because I know in the state of Nevada, it's all about income. In the state of California, the one who makes the most money gets the child, I guess. I don't know how it goes. I don't know. New York is different from New York, different from
New
Michigan.
York is totally different. And matter of fact, I got to look at that again because, you know, all my nephew did marry, have kids. So as I know, about 7 years ago, they was doing that.
Now I gotta look all this crap up.
And since I had since my daughter had my grandson, I haven't been doing, you know, that since then because it's all about my grandbaby. But yes, I had and they was stopping that. So I don't know if they, you know, they was taking their license. And I was like, how y'all gonna take their license? I'm in court talking to the judge. How you gonna take this young man license if he can't even find no job? How are you gonna get back and forth to work? And where we lived at in the state of New York, you need transportation.
There's always the bus. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm gonna give him 6 months and then such and such and such. If we see he paid for a good couple of months, then we'll work with him.
And you wonder why laws get broken all the time.
And I had good judges. They was like, Sheila, you don't know these guys. I mean, the kid is like 12, 13-year-old. They ain't paid no child support. And then the mother on social service. So majority of the mothers don't even tell social service who the father is.
Child social services don't even know who the father is.
They don't tell them. They don't tell who the father is. So it's a lot that yeah.
Well, whatever happened to DNA? Whatever happened to DNA testing?
They don't. If they don't know who the father is, why they gonna take a DNA test? Because they ain't gonna get social service. They're not gonna get their food stamps. They're not gonna, you know, get a roof over their head. Yeah, you know how people play the system, the government and stuff. If you think all these girls got 4 or 5 kids and they get social service and they know who the father is, the government gonna take care of them? No, it don't work like that. I'm a retired case manager. That don't work like that.
You know what? I'm gonna play this clip. I'm gonna marinate on that. This is a lot. Thank God I'm not even in that position. If I ever want to be in that position, holy shit.
And then to Aaron's point, like it's not going. Of course, with double standards, it's not going to be like, okay, a woman is going to supplement a man. That's not going to happen that way. And again, she's not going to respect the man. She's not. But the thing that I believe that most people, not just women, but people in general respect is integrity. And if you're going to stand for something, stand on it. Even the bad guy can get the check because, again, he's standing for something, maybe not something that, you know, be positive, but because he has this code that he's standing on, and this is discipline, whatever he's doing, and inspires her in some way, that's what she's willing to go with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can look at any person, whether negative or positive, the people they pull towards them. Why do they get pulled towards the good and the bad of people? You know what I'm saying? Whether it be someone like the Joker or Scarface or Obama. Why do these people draw in people in general? It doesn't even matter. It's the fact that they have integrity and they stand on something. And the fact that it won't waver. And they're not the people who are being told what to do. And they actually have to figure out what they're doing with their life.
Wait. Time out. This was something supposed to be simple. Ifatunde said something simple and should be followed with a yes or a no. He simply asked, could we, if possible, take the boys and groom them into over time into young men, just like when a woman takes her daughter and grooms her into a young lady. Can we do that? Can we start there? All I hear is complaining. That's all I hear. Where did it come? See, this is Aaron old slickness.
you're a mess. I'm not messing with you. I'm getting off this panel. But again, y'all heart is in the right place. You know, y'all want to look out. Majority of people who talk about that, it's not about just their household, because their household's straight. We want to try to save the other kids. You know. So.
Yeah, but that's what I'm okay. If you want to save the other kids, take the boys. Take the boys and groom them. I didn't say put them in the same house as you. I didn't say that. I'm saying if somebody is in trouble and is a troublemaker in the bounds of being a troublemaker, take that child and do the best that you can, because if you don't, he's going to end up in prison or
and
dead.
some of them do, Loc. They do. You like a lot of coaches did. They had those guys with their sons, and the ones who don't have the father, they mentor them. A lot of them do, but they can't save all of them. You know,
I didn't say that.
Yeah, a lot of them. I'm telling you, a lot of coaches and Big Brother and stuff. A lot of those guys did do save. You know, and I could say that in the Black community, but they can't save all of them, because some of them just get caught up in the, you know. So
this is the reason why. Okay, you may not say all of them, but at least say the majority of them. This is why we have leadership, not leaders. We try having leaders before, and they keep getting gunned down. In leadership, if one gets gunned down, then you can't delete all of us.
Yes.
If we're in alignment with each other, if I'm in alignment with your thinking, Sheila, and if Sheila is in alignment with Brownsville, and Brownsville is in alignment with Darrell, if Darrell is in alignment with Keisha, we are all in an agreement.
Yeah,
that's the type of thing that I'm talking about when it comes to leadership.
But
and
still, you're gonna have someone come against the cracks a lot. You is, and the ones who you do say, just think about it. That's a good job. If you could touch, I could say out of 50 kids, probably 7 of them you're gonna touch, because the rest of them, like I said again, once they go back in their household, and the pressure is their mother ain't giving them materialistic stuff. They see guys out here selling drugs. It's a lot of stuff caught up too easy for them to get into. If they're not strong mentally, they're gonna stray. Regardless of what you say to them, example them, they're gonna stray and go the wrong way. That even goes with our young girls. They're gonna have kids at a young age and stuff like that. So it has to be to the individual. And some of them make mistakes as they get young, and they get old. They be like, "Oh wow, they're correct it or whatever." But again, it's up to the individual, and that's why I say again, we is to keep our bodies. Y'all males can't have kids by yourself, so it's up to the woman.
Right.
Be careful who you lay down with. Be careful who you have kids by. Yeah, it go back to us.
I just think that, you know, the things that you say, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hear them, and at the same time, I know I can solve the smallest of the problems.
Mm-hmm.
When you say that, right? When they go back into the, they're gonna have to deal with all the mess.
Mm-hmm.
Not all, but
Not all of them. Not all of them. Yeah.
If most kids, what I want, most kids have cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
If they have a cell phone, and if I can call, not reach a certain time limit with like 9:30, 10 o'clock, but before that time, before they go to bed, I text them and I say, "Is everything okay? Is everything all right?" You reach them right when they are at the most intelligent. Oh, not all kids are intelligent, but they're intelligent enough because they
But
see.
the ones who want to get into something, I don't care if you call them or text them, they're not gonna answer your text. If I'm out there doing something I ain't supposed to do, you call me.
No. That's when you reach it. No. I'm not. But listen, this is where you do that before they go home. You let them know before they go home. If there's a problem, you can reach me.
Mm-hmm.
You know you can reach me. You know you can reach Lisa. You know you can release Sheila. You know you can release Vaughn. Talk to Vaughn. If there's any problem at all, you catch them when you catch them right there. If something is going to go on in that home, you catch them and you let them know it's like, I am here for you. If I have to come over there, myself with police, that's what I'm going to have to do. But then again, it's like we have to literally start picking people. Just like when I was in court yesterday, not yesterday, but the day before, I was in court and they were going to pick the jury. I wasn't picked, so I was like, okay, whatever. We need to do it. I would love for it to happen that way when they start picking who is fair, who is willing to do the right thing, etc., etc., etc. It should be done that way. And I haven't quite. I left the message. I sent an email, Sheila. I sent an email. So, and I'm looking through my email, and I didn't get an email from the mayor back yet. But I asked, when's the next?
Okay, so you did research.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
So when is the next work section where you live at, or the city council meeting?
She didn't email me yet.
No, it should be online. Look online.
I will admit, but
yeah, you could look online and they would tell you the work section in the city council meeting, the board education meetings and stuff like that. And if y'all have any other boards and stuff, it'll tell you all that on your website. Like for example, if just say you live in a county, and the mayor name or whatever, boom, just look it up and they tell you everything you need to know. And your
okay.
That website tell you everything. It tell you everything. Who the mayor, city council.
Right, they're going to.
I hear you.
Right, you have direction. If you're that type of person, you're going to end up pulling people who forget behind you. It's because you stand on something, you're going somewhere in life. You know what I'm saying? So if you want respect, in my opinion, for the community, you have to be someone who's willing to do that within your own household first. Like legitimately, like the community starts at home. Families are the cornerstone of every community. If you look at our community, quote unquote, how many broken homes are there? So how can you have a strong community if there are so many broken homes? So what you can do, starting with yourself, for the most part, starting with yourself, just you guys here, invest, reflect, and look at yourself. And then try to get, I would say at least, some type of critique from your family, how they view you. Like get an honest heart to heart, be like, yo, how you think I am in this family? Because in my family, I already know who leads, like who the real men are in the family. You know what I'm saying? Like legitimately. And even me, I'm with that. Sorry, go ahead.
You breaking up though too. I think y'all are missing the heart. Y'all are missing the heart of what he's talking about. The point of contention that we having up here is not really what the men should be doing. It's how the women are going to react as a result of what the men do. That's the real point of contention. That's that.
Oh, well, since you're here, do you agree that if we straighten up and fly right, if we, how I say it, if we're doing what we're supposed to do as men and take the boys in, will women straighten up?
A woman's not gonna straighten up unless she want to.
So
I'm
that's an
keep it
issue.
real. Again, and it's saying you can't make a hoe out of housewife. So if that woman don't want to straighten up, nothing you say or do gonna have her act right. That's just like a man. You know, whatever you say or do ain't gonna make him be the father or the head of the household. If it ain't in a person, you can't bring something out if it's not in that person.
Okay.
So
I
again, I
guess what
said
I'm gonna have to do.
no.
Okay, so I guess what I'm gonna have to do is have a meeting of the minds with the females. That's no problem. I'm gonna have to have a meeting of the minds. It's gonna be so fun.
I'm gonna keep it real, a lot. Like I had that gift of helping the community, but my husband haven't, and he never discouraged me for doing that. And he was like, "Oh, because you can't save everybody, whatever. I like what you're doing, whatever." But that wasn't his gift. But whatever I did, I always asked him, "Is it all right or whatever?" He was like, "Yeah," or whatever. Everything I did, he always encouraged me doing it. He said, "I like what you're doing, doing the little girls and stuff like that, And because that was my gift, that wasn't his gift. His gift was again, take care of the household, making sure his family was good. Like he said, I ain't trying to save the world. I'm just making sure my household was good. So you can't get mad at somebody that if they're living a life and they build for their family and get mad because they don't want to put their time into the community. Everybody don't have that gift.
I hear what you're saying, but again, you're gonna have to deal with the outside forces of what's coming. Now it may not come in, in a stick-up kid type of mentality, but it might end up in something else that, you're going to have to go to those parents and say, what type of child were you raising when your son was putting his hands on my daughter in an inappropriate way? Then I'm going to have to deal with this, right?
But again, if you're not raising your daughters and your kids in that environment, you ain't got to deal with that. See, my kids wasn't raised in the inner city. So I ain't had to experience that, So that's what I'm saying again. If you in the inner city, and I'm going to keep it real, a lot of stuff you're going to experience that somebody in the suburb is not, or in the country not. My daughter wanted to get in the inner city with her friends and, because she wasn't, her lifestyle, my lifestyle was too boring for her. And she, look at, but her friends wanted to come to our house all the time because it was quiet, structure, and, So again, we ain't had to worry about a man. Now, our daughters, my daughter didn't get, have her baby until she was 28 years old. I wasn't a grandmother till I was 50. So how I had raised my kids, me and my husband, we ain't experienced stuff that I had to work with in the community. But I seen a lot growing up because I was raised in the projects to a certain extent. So I seen a lot that my kids ain't experienced. I seen my cousin get shot in front of me, a lot of stuff, Yeah, I've seen a lot growing up in the projects and stuff.
This is a dumb question coming from me, but
no, go ahead.
I believe it's sincere. You think your husband is a good husband?
Yeah, he was a good. Yeah, he was good. He just made a mistake. He was good.
Okay, all right, cool. I was.
Yeah, because we ain't married no more. He still is. He still is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. All right. Just checking. Just checking.
That is the real
Yeah,
meat and potatoes
I
of it
can't.
all.
I can't
I
say that.
understand
People
what you're
make
saying.
mistakes, and like I said again, it's me. You can make a mistake, and I got rules and regulations. It's just like it costs you your marriage. You know.
But would you for? I mean, would you forgive him? Or would you
I
go
forgave
back?
him. I
But
forgave
you
him.
wouldn't go back.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I would think there would have been some type of spark there that could have been a flame that could have been rekindled or something like that. But just like in my marriage,
We have a
I
beautiful
want
relationship, but other than that,
no.
other than that, it was like he wanted a divorce. It's a lot that I don't say, but he didn't want no
I
divorce.
mean, it was. I mean, it was what it was. You did what you could, and there's always a new chapter.
Yeah, I
There's
would never
always a new
bash my husband. I would never ever bash
Yeah,
him.
don't be like these dudes or these one. No,
Because
no.
ain't nobody perfect. And let me tell you something, the mistake he made, I understand. I was like, wow, it was, I can understand it. But still, if it was me in that position, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I had to explain. Yeah, it came to the point that the judge the judge said, look, she want her divorce, So the end of the day is, you know. Yeah.
That is amazing.
And that's why I said, no, I can't do that. And I learned a lot on this app, like a lot of guys and stuff or whatever. And we just get caught up in different things. I didn't live that lifestyle, different men and all that stuff. No, I was married at a young age, and so in church
Yeah,
and stuff.
not a problem. Not a problem. Because I was thinking, well, since people have experience and they have knowledge of self, maybe it's time to form something small, not something so big, because we need to know what we're forming, where it would go, and if it ends up going somewhere, then so be it. But I want to try something.
You say you don't want to.
I want to try to have a formal meeting of the mind.
If you say that one more time, I'm gonna get down off this panel. Go ahead.
What? Why? I just want to test some things. I just want to test something.
You got all the ideas. I say you so
always
faithful.
run our mouth all the time. I want to try something. That's all.
What you gonna try? What you gonna try?
I'll tell you in a different clip. But for right now, just let me form some things in my mind again. Because I believe in my being that we can actually do something. Do some things.
Okay.
We didn't do everything. Because we're not number one, we're not politicians. We're not politicians. We're just.
But I could bring some to your channel, though.
Huh?
I could bring some to your channel.
Like what?
The mayor, politicians to your channel.
Why not?
If you want to really talk to some males that really doing the work in the community, and they tell you, she'll ain't no joke. My mayor, I helped him get in his seat. He been there for 8 years now. My best friend, her son, I've been told him he'll pass. I've been told him to run for city council in there. Now she running for the town. So I'm surrounded with everybody who doing stuff in the community.
Okay.
And I got one, I call him my brother. Oh God, he really fights. And I call him super. And he could really talk to you about real educated when it comes to the streetwise, when it comes out sons and stuff because his son got killed by the police.
Damn.
And
Damn.
yeah, his son got killed by the police. When I tell you,
My
he turned
wife.
that city inside up, and he in the city council. We got him in the seat and everything. He don't play when it come to no youth. He do not play when it come to our black males. And he like, shall I thank you? And you know, you've been there for me, little sister, whatever. He do not play when it come to our black youth. So the end of the day is I'm surrounded by men who really doing stuff. That wasn't my husband gift, but he was a good dude. It was like, you know, because my husband was like more a nerd, you know.
Yeah,
He didn't hang out or
he
nothing
told
like
me.
that. He didn't hang out
Mhm.
nothing like that. Real educated, real focused on his career, his household and stuff like that, you know. So, you know, whatever I want to do, he support me or whatever. But yeah. hmm
Yeah,
And majority of people
it
who
always
don't do
has to
that and
deal
when they
with
see us
police.
do it, it's like, wow, oh, that's
Because
cool. That's
my wife, her brother, her oldest brother got killed by police, and it's like, why do? It's like it's sort of like a familiar thing. It's like, okay, who gonna get killed by the police next, right?
Mhm.
And everybody has a healthy fear of police. I don't have a healthy fear of police. And like, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But I'm gonna go out with guns ablazing. That's what I
That's what
do.
I'm telling you. A lot of stuff that I just don't say here that we had to really fight against the police and stuff. Come on. I had a friend, he had said, and he was older. He said, "Shall I love what y'all doing in the community?" He said, "Because I know something happened to me. Y'all gonna make sure y'all get to the bottom of it." Why he died, got shot by a state trooper 2 months later.
I'm going by. I will go by the rules, the bracket of what I would call it with Dr. Claude Anderson. First, you have to rebuild your community. Then once you make that money and it translates 8 to 12 times within our community, then you go to stage one, which is, what did he say? Police. Nope, that was the second stage.
La
The
la.
first, the
You know,
first,
la. It sounds good unless we had to shut down the city. A lot of stuff we had to hijack the police department. A lot of stuff we done did, and I mean, it was like our city was like a war zone.
but that's New York. I want to.
No, we upstate
Come
New
on,
York. We more like country. I mean, where I grew up is more like
name,
country. It's not like New York
name your
City.
major cities, or name your major cities. You got New York,
Oh
you got
no,
LA.
I'm like 45. Where I grew up at, I was like 45 minutes from the Bronx, Manhattan, and stuff like that. I'm upstate, so I'm like an hour from the capital.
South Bronx. I get it. I totally get it. But I just
Yeah. So that little town like that, they had us. They
every
made us.
problem has a solution. Every single problem. Every single problem has a solution. I mean, what's the solution? What's the solution with a dude smacking you in the face? Smack him back.
We did. We did. The thing was, okay, we're gonna start getting those seats, running those seats and stuff. So it calmed down a lot. It calmed down a lot once his son got killed and stuff. And he did it for years. I came home, he ran for city council, he got a seat. Then a lot of stuff. He was like, I ain't never think about that. I said, run, get in those seats. That's how you gonna get them. We doing the groundwork. I said, y'all got to get in those seats. Once they start getting those seats, it stopped. All that stopped. The game changed. Because now he the police boss.
Oh, he's the boss, huh? Okay.
Yeah, when you're in the city council and the mayor, yeah. They gotta get through them.
All right.
They hold them accountable for anything. The mayor, or you got superintendent, whatever. Yeah, that's what you have a mayor for, and the city council,
Sheila,
the fire department, and police department. You their boss. You didn't know that?
There's stuff that I read, and then there's stuff that I usually scratch my head after I read it. I'm gonna stop reading books and I'm gonna start reading newspapers. Because that's where the headline is. That's where the shit is. It's in the newspapers. It's not in the books all the time because a lot of Negroes don't even read books. I could tell you, I could get the only book they ever read is Sun Tzu's book. Like Sun Tzu's give great advice, but when it comes to our culture and what we need to do, we need to start reading into women's listen. This book right here, Scarred Woman. People need to read this book. This is a good book. This is a good book to read. Brainwashed. They need to read that Brainwashed book by Tom Barrow. And another book to read. And not everybody agrees with this woman, but I read halfway through, and I think that Sazar Ali is a good influence on the Black community. I'm just gonna say that, and I'm gonna leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. But
again, it's I seen
it's a lot. It's a lot.
But it's good though. It's good. I could really say in my heart now, I look back, all the work we did is not in vain. A lot of Blacks got city jobs, state jobs, contractors, and everything we did was not in vain, you know. So yeah.
So what do you suggest that we do?
Like I said, you gotta get you a good team and have meetings, start having meetings and stuff, you know. Start where you live at, you know. If you want to do something online or whatever, you could do something online because you could reach a parent, you know. Okay, you got some parents they like stuff like that. I would like to get involved in the community, stuff like that, but I don't know where to start at, you know.
Okay.
And it could start with you, you know. Like I said, get in touch with a good nonprofit organization who really doing work in your community. That's really doing it, you know, not just saying it, but doing it active in the community, you know. And again, like I said, go to those council meetings. Let your voice be heard. Don't be scared and go up there and say something in the mic. And don't be scared to ask them about the budgets or programs and stuff they're having for the kids and stuff, you know. Be that voice.
I gotta look all that stuff up first to see, you know, what's actually being spent and how much money it is, and damn, it is a lot. But fuck,
it is a lot because it's
I ain't got nothing else better to do.
It's a lot. But when you going in there, it's a lot. You're gonna like, I don't understand this stuff. Again, the work section. Again, maybe they have a master plan book that they got a 10-year they're doing in your, you know, your area where you live at. Just ask different questions, you know. Do we have a strong mayor? You know, what's his positions? And what else boards he doing? Who he connected with? What about your governor in your state? What about the county? I mean, it's a lot that even with board education, they got a lot of stuff, nonprofit organizations too, and their budget's bigger than the towns or the city.
Correct.
But then you got the police department. They always had the biggest budget for what? I don't know, because they have a lot of
over education
stuff.
Over education,
board education. Yeah, they have board education meetings, like the city council meetings.
I'm talking about the children.
Get to know who on the boards.
Because if the police need this and the police need that, then they're gonna have to cut it, because they're always complaining that they don't have enough money for certain things.
They do that because when they retire, they want to retire with good money. They want all that overtime. That's why they do that.
But you want to take away elder Social Security. And you wonder why these kids can't find a job. Because you have elders still working at McDonald's. What type of sense does that make? They should be chilling. They should be chilling, sipping on some mocha or something. On the rocking chair sewing, while the rest of these kids get the experience that the others have. I don't understand it for the life of me why an elderly is still working at GM. I don't understand it. These people think they're slick. They're trying to take away Social Security. They're trying to take away pensions. They're trying to take. They're going to get all
that's
that.
That's what it is. That's what the police department and fire department do. And then they had their friends to come. There's a lot of stuff we had to catch, and they got mad at stuff. You know, you got a person retiring, they got good retire, but then after you retire, you're gonna go back to the inner city and get a job as a police officer or chief or whatever. And you get a retirement and you get a salary. See, this slick. A lot of stuff, like I said, in politics is a lot of stuff that I had to catch. And it was like, Sheila gonna get y'all. She gonna watch. She gonna say something. And every city council meeting, I'll catch everything. I'll catch everything.
Lisa, I gotta finish up. You stick around? You can.
I'm ready to go. But thank you again. I don't want to hijack your panel.
No, you ain't hijacking nothing. You are a light. You are a light that has filled up my darkness. You have shed some light, and hey, come back anytime.
I will. You gonna live tomorrow?
No, I'll be live.
Because you know you be live all the time. I said, oh, look at him, he's so faithful.
Why?
Live all the time. I be in the clouds. I just look. I say, in different ones. I said, look at this, so faithful. They had 2 or 3 people, and y'all talking like y'all got thousands. I said, oh, that's so faithful. Not me. Mine. I can't.
They don't like me. They don't like me because I'm simpish. They don't like me because I'm simpish.
Nah, because you with the sisterhood. That's why they don't like you. Take up
on with the sisterhood now.
Uh-huh.
All
right. Yeah, you the sisterhood bodyguard. So that's it.
Sisterhood bodyguard.
All right. And
all
hi to
right.
everybody in the chat. I can't see the chat because I'm on my phone. But again,
Vaughn,
it was a pleasure always being on your panel because you're a piece of work. Go ahead.
I am, man. I just don't.
Nah, you got good spirit. You
I don't
people.
follow line with the structure. I don't follow line with what people say sometimes.
No, you good people. Yeah. I just come up here. I said, let me come next. I wasn't doing nothing.
Wait. What was it again? Wait. What was it again? I am the bodyguard for the
bodyguard of the sisterhood. So anybody mess us, I'm saying, you know what? I'm getting locked on you.
You know what? I might just change from the lock sector to the sister bodyguard of the sisterhood.
Well, you know you don't like when you say the sisterhood. Huh?
I can't do what Brownsville's doing. I can't do that. He's got that a lot.
What Brownsville doing?
Huh?
What he doing?
He's okay.
Huh?
He's okay. He's on Sharon's. Like I said, she's on Sharon's panel all the time and calling him up and being himself and doing.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
And
Kuda, you know what? I love Kuda. I call him my little brother. He be over there. He still, he mad because they got a lot of new people in the sector or whatever. And Angry Man, he doing excellent. Oh wow, he really doing excellent.
Angry Man is Angry Man.
Yeah, I like Angry Man. It's that New York in us, So
I guess.
I'm rough and tough too. I'm not a dainty. I'm rough and tough too. But while Grace said, yeah. So you stay in your lane. You do what you do. But it was a pleasure. And
Definitely.
Okay.
All right, Lisa. All right,
Okay.
Lisa.
Okay. Everybody be blessed. Okay.
You too. You too. You know the mayor's doing. They all some trick bags. Mayor, the governor, the shit, the legislature. They're all some trick bags. They know what they're doing. Let's continue.
And Brownsville, but what I think to go along with what you're saying, I think we need a cultural realignment. I think we need a reprogramming. I think we need to bring shame back for men and women. I think there has to be shame for a man for not taking care of his community, for not building, for not feeling responsible for the well-being, the growth, and the growth of the community. There has to be shame is one way of saying it, but women have to start to take pride again in being the mothers of the community. They have to take pride in that. You can't just be like, I'm out here, I'm out of town, thugging with my rounds. You can't just be sexy red at age 45. You can't be that.
Life is of little value in Rome, living in the shadow of the rich.
You got to be the mom. I got to know that if my daughter's walking down the street and she's doing wrong, that Brownsville's wife is going to be like, Taylor, what are you doing? Don't make me call your mom. She got to do that again. You know what I'm saying? That has to happen. So we have to realign our community and we have to reset our culture. All the music, all the TV, all the goofy shit that they see us doing and hear us doing, we have to make it to where that's unacceptable to go along with everything that y'all talking about. So it ain't just a matter of, the men are doing better. Yeah, that's great. We need to do that. Absolutely. But also the women need to understand what's acceptable and what's not acceptable for them. And they have to hold each other accountable like we have to hold each other accountable for B saying beans. That's your nephew, bro. You know this nigga out here shooting, nigga, he listened to you. Get that nigga to stop shooting, my nigga. That's one of the little moles. Nigga, he under the fire, nigga. That's one of your guys, nigga. Man, go holler at that nigga. Like real talk, we gotta hold each other accountable in that way. And that's how you start to shift culture because we hold each other accountable.
Right. And it starts with the men, right? And when it comes to shame, right? I need to shame you two brothers right now, both you and Beans, for having those hoodies on, right? Looking like y'all about to go up.
That's the man who be wearing a ski mask every other time we see him.
And Beans got the hoodie on with the shades. So
I've been sick all week, man.
Walk up in the spot, they gonna think he there to rob it, right? So listen. All I'm saying is this: when men are getting together and we're trying to figure out the solutions that is going to be necessary to propel our community forward, right? We should not be then looking at the women. We should be focusing on what men need to do. How men, as Aaron O put it, need to be going above and beyond. Like I said, if I had that mentality of Aaron O, which describes me being a person that wants supplements, right? And I should be going to those young men that I'm mentoring, the parents, and saying, hey, I need you to supplement this and supplement that and pay me for my time and pay me for the activities that I'm doing with them and pay me for all the things that I'm doing to instill some good, solid values into these young men, right? Then what am I even doing it for? That's the problem, right?
Surgery.
It's a thing called selfless service. And without selfless service, we're only going to hinder our community, right? Because everything isn't going to be reciprocal, right? Sometimes you're going to have to put more labor in before you even receive the reward. And I believe that's all Umar's talking about. He's saying men, by and large, stepping up, doing more, taking more responsibility. And when the women see that, men have a more vested interest in propelling the community forward, then they're going to naturally begin to be more respectful of men.
You know what, Brownsville? I agree with you, man. Also, I think when it comes to men, I think one of the biggest issues is we do a lot, not we, but a lot of people in general procrastinate. And you had to figure out, well, why the procrastination? Why the laziness? Why the lack of motivation? Why are men in general not trying to move and progress in life? And it is old saying, we're saying like, easy times bring soft men, hard times bring stronger men. There is definitely a fact to that, some wisdom to that, because you figure with everything being made simple, this microwave generation doesn't have the patience to deal with themselves to even try to, just to try anything, because it's like, well, what's the alternative? What can I do? And then you start making excuses why you can't do this and that, and then you become exterior and not interior, basically looking at yourself. You look at the world, you start comparing yourself to others, like, well, why they got this? And now you're in your feelings because you're looking at how the world makes you feel rather than going by what you know about yourself. And you ignored yourself in the process of trying to move forward in life. But again, this all starts from like, are things easier today? Oh, hell yeah. If you compare, I'm in the military, if you compare us compared to the guys of the 80s, it's night and day. If you compare the 80s to the 50s, it's definitely night and day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, we are different men of different times. And this is what Aaron O kind of hits on a little bit, because he understands the men of this age and why they are what they are. But it's like, well, how do we mitigate against that? And that is a very tough thing to get men motivated when, for the most part, the number one thing that motivated men is women. But women aren't attracted to weak men. So we're kind of at a dilemma in the moment when it's like, well, what can we do for men naturally? Because if women was a motivation, but you're not the thing that women are attracted to, what's going to motivate you now? You know what I mean?
I hate y'all.
Love you, Beans.
Yeah. He not. Yeah. Let me get caught up on these super chats real quick. Donnell Hawkins says, educated women can be bad. You're a real man.
Drew Johnson supports letting politicians ban abortion with no exceptions.
Hi, we're Visible. We offer one life.
I don't care. Come on with this, bro.
Nah, children cost in this day and age, all right? And freedom costs too. So, ladies, if y'all want to be free and have jobs, y'all gonna pay for these children too. I'm sorry, Dr. Umar. I wasn't man enough for you. Yeah, ain't gonna be man enough. Nothing. Send that check. All right. Until then, we gonna be at a standstill. Okay, we not about to sit here and belittle men and say men and women are not equal, but won't say to men y'all better than them. Once men start saying, y'all better than women, that's why y'all not equal, and they present that message to empower those men, sure, then we can start having those conversations.
No, and this is where we leave most of you Negroes behind. This is the reason why we leave most of you Negroes behind. No disrespect. It's just that we're moving in a different direction. And we won't have to deal with the child support laws and everything, which now I got to look up for my state how it operates. But we shouldn't have to be confined to that, men or women. But if you want to do all that petty stuff, then fine, that's you. If you just because you want the recognition, not the recognition, you want the acknowledgement. Screw that. It's too late in the day. Women are too far gone, and the men are too far out. So the people who are with those individuals who are agreeants that the era needs to start anew, and it needs to start anew when it comes to the decisions that we make, those who have hearts, kind hearts, who are well vast and not so judgmental, who practice common sense. We will speak to those people, whether it be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 10. We don't have to speak to everybody, and we're going to start slow. We're going to start immediate. We don't need everybody. Sorry, Aaron. Love you, still my brother though.
But as long as they talk about, no one is better than anyone, they're just different. I ain't trying to hear none of that nonsense. Either it is what it is, or we're gonna keep it real. All right, now I don't think people keep it real enough in these streets. Okay, Brown, stop nodding your head because you about to come over here and say the Kings are at the top. They're the top of the top. Is that what you about to say? Go ahead and say it.
what I'm gonna say is, you can tell.
What kings? I don't see any kings, Aaron. What kings? I see princes. Oh, excuse me, prince. Prince. I see prince. I was gonna say prince as in put in that S there, not princesses as in female. But I was gonna say prince. I don't see no kings. I see a whole bunch of crybabies. But I don't see no kings. I call my brother a king because it's reference a different way. It's a sign of respect. Just like when I call the queens that are over here, like Sheila, I will call her and say, "Hey, queen," that's a sign of respect. Because she's over here, she's giving respect. And in return, I give respect. That's how it should be. It's a term of endearment, sir. Come on. You are smarter than this. Brother, you are so smarter than you think that you are. You know what it is. And you ain't gonna get 50%, you ain't gonna get the 50% of the majority to go by your rule. It's not gonna happen that way because there's too many horizontal issues that women go through and men go through, but you want to place all men to a high standard. It doesn't work that way because there are too many hardheads and there are too many knuckleheads that you don't even acknowledge. You don't acknowledge them at all. You just men are first person have a higher standard. So it don't work that way, bruh. If we can sit and have a meeting of the minds and say we need to dust the knuckleheads that go in the grocery stores with a Tech 9 or with that Drago and start oozing and spraying the place. We need to dust those people. I'm all for it. I'm good. Let's do that. Let's hold the dudes accountable and dust all the males who punch females in the face. It's like if you were literally going to tell the principal what she or she did, I'm all for it. But you don't hit females in the face. Females hit males in the face, they should get in trouble. They should get in trouble by law standard. But you hitting them, you just because you're having a back and forth conversation gives you the right to ball up your fist and hit a female square dead in the mouth? No. You should be held accountable for all that shit. But you ain't gonna do all that. You ain't gonna hold these young men to a high standard. No, you're not.
It's a lot of weak men in your chat, right?
Gosh,
because whenever somebody speaks,
he just confirmed. Thank you, Brownsville.
To men stepping up and taking more responsibility, being more driven to duty, carrying the heavier burdens for the community. They make it seem like it's something wrong with that. Like they got a serious issue with it. And I don't understand where this weak mentality comes from, right? Because you're correct, Aaron. Oh, yes. We're in 2024. We're in a different time, right? We're in a different age, right? But I'm telling these men to recalibrate their value system, right? That's why I'm telling them, listen, Romans 12:2 says, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what is good, what is acceptable, and the perfect will of God, right? So along that same spirit, yes, while
Amen.
While the world continues to get weaker, if we walk towards righteousness, we can continue to increase in strength with God, right? And that is the calling of man. And men need to step up to the plate as Dr. Umar prescribed and put in their mindset that weight is meant for shoulders and not hips. Why are we willing to just get on this 50-50 train and say, oh yeah, well, it needs to be exact reciprocity in a relationship between men and women, right?
Everybody keep barking on this 50-50 deal. Let me explain to you in my definition what 50-50 is. If you're going to have a woman cook, right? Let me do the dishes. Hell, I'll even wash the clothes. I'll wash, dry, and fold them and put them away. All right. She can do the kids' room, or I can do the kids' room. She can do, I'm usually doing our room. I'm usually cleaning up our bedroom and the living room and the bathrooms. She can at least clean up the kids' room. That's 50-50. We're talking about in terms of in the relationship, in the household. We ain't talking about anything else. When it comes to financial shit, of course we're gonna split the bills. It's like we don't understand and we don't realize that outside forces are always moving the freaking goalpost. They're always gonna move the fucking goalpost. It's like, what are we not getting? Inflation is real. Inflation is definitely real, and I'm surprised that they're not going to have another shutdown, because if they have another shutdown, it's a problem. Do we not realize that? And some of these dudes are losing their jobs, so it has to be 50-50. Not everybody makes six figures. Not everybody makes above 65 grand a year. It's under the bracket of 45, 46 a year. That's most of us. I don't even know how much I'm here. I don't even pay attention to this. But I know it ain't 50, it ain't above 50. So we have to be realistic. Jesus. Gee.
Right? Where did this whole thing come from? It came from the waywardness of men, the lack of self-control of men, the lack of self-discipline from men. When men decided to step back, men decided to take a step back, right? And remove ambition from their purview. Remove a solid plan and solid vision to maintain or get to the pathways of success, right? And men have got complacent, right? Men have prioritized
y'all piss me off
and degeneracy, right? Because I'm guaranteeing you this, in this conversation, when Beans start talking, one of the first things he's going to be starting to talk about is sex. I'm willing to guarantee that. Go ahead, Beans. Prove me right.
Romans 13:1. Obey the government, for God is the one who put it there. Why y'all always duck the scriptures that don't benefit y'all arguments? Maybe God is the reason why things look the way that they look. He designed it all. Isaiah 45:7. I create the good and the evil. Why y'all always duck the scriptures that don't benefit y'all arguments?
You're leaving me?
For a TurboTax expert who charges me less but gives me more. Sing it, Adam.
A tax pro, she's been thinking twice. Best believe TurboTax will beat your price. This is the tax break.
It's time to move on to a TurboTax expert.
This is the tax breakup.
This fall, switch to a TurboTax Live expert and we'll beat the price you paid your pro last tax season.
You and these bad-forsaken commercials.
Get an unlimited phone plan from Google Fi Wireless at $80 per month for 2 lines. Enjoy.
Stop being pretentious, man. Y'all niggas ain't no Christians in real life. I don't care because you don't curse. You know how I know? Because the Bible also says, study to show thyself approved. So when you sit on camera and you just yell out talking
That's the
points,
scripture though.
who cares? You know it says that. When you sit on camera and you yell out talking points that you know ain't fucking true. Y'all don't ever want to dig deep because thinking make you niggas head hurt, right? When you say it starts with the men, how can you prove that? Don't just say it.
Question?
If you want it to be yes, I dare you. Don't just say it. Tell me how it absolutely starts with the men.
Because it started with the men. Go into Genesis.
Yeah, but so you got to use reality.
Adam, right?
No, because that's not Adam wasn't the first man, so you can't say it started with him.
Well, if you wanna go with a different, I mean, so where are you getting your evidence?
Oh, wait, hold on, Beans, because you already got him. You already got him from the jump. He about to run. Let's stay here. What started with men? You mean the creation of men?
Yes.
So the change in society has to start with men because the beginning of society started with men. So that's how you correlate that. That's your argument for why currently it has to start with men because how it started in the past.
No, I'm talking about God's intentions, right? God put responsibility on Adam to maintain everything that was going on the earth.
Oh yeah.
Does Adam represent all men or a man?
Oh,
Adam in my view represents how the perfect man should be before sin, right?
Yeah, but
so when God intended for men to rule the earth, right? He put what was necessary in Adam in order to get it accomplished.
Boom.
Right? And I understand the fall of man happened. Sin came into the world, right? But the scripture tells us to not be, we don't have to be of this world, right? So that means that we can ascribe to something greater. And that's all I'm asking men to do, right? Because I'm not telling men to do anything different than what I'm doing in my real life, Beans. So anything that I say that I tell men to do, I can prove that I'm doing it.
It's not the point. Right. So that's like me going and telling a man with no legs he should be able to kick it. Yeah, so you don't understand the analogy because you don't think. That's what I'm saying.
No,
think before you make the face, right? How would that look? Would that look crazy? Wouldn't I look crazy telling a man with no legs that he should kick it?
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Right. And that's the point, because at that point I would be what? Denying his reality. And this is what y'all do all the time. Y'all don't want to speak to people's reality. You just want to try to tell them what they should and should not be, regardless to what their actual reality is. You don't know, right? The things that you saying that you are, there is a equation that got you to this point. And you want people to take their equation and somehow just magic marker make it you. It's not possible. It's not how it works.
That's bullshit. You're just lazy. You don't want to do the work. But it's okay. It is all right. It is fine. We won't accept you. When we put in work, we'll accept those who will. Every problem has a solution. When a man can't use his legs, he'll use his arms. That's why when I worked for a company called GMT, and we went and picked up a guy who couldn't use his legs, but the man was a bodybuilder before he had that accident. And his arms, not only his arms, his forearms were so strong that when he tried pulling them, we were just playing around. He was putting a move on me, and I can feel his strength. Before he could touch me, I can feel his strength. The man was very freaking strong. So what he lacks in legs, he recovers in his arms. So that's a lazy way of thinking to me. Hey, Bridge. Bridge, guess what? hey, Young, guess what? I was just dubbed today by dear old Sheila. I love Sheila. I just got dubbed today as the bodyguard for the sisterhood. I got dubbed. The reason why people won't come on my channel is because I am the bodyguard. I'm standing at attention. I got the gun on my hip. I got handcuffs. I don't believe it. Unarmed guards usually carry mace, and they carry I guess a walkie-talkie. But if I was an armed guard, I'll be standing there. I'll be standing there with more than just a Glock. I'll have my AR with me and everything, and I'm standing in the door of the sisterhood. I am the prodigy of the sisterhood. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We can continue with the
right? We are the sum of things that we have been through, learned, experienced, been taught, programmed, all of that other stuff. DNA, family history. So you're not going to get this cookie cutter person every single time, right? But the problem is what I don't like is these conversations are becoming so redundant. It's like we had these conversations, but we don't just stick to what we already solved for. We solved for this shit you talking about. We already figured out that this ain't man's fault because no man is born a man. Checkmate. You want to blame men who, by the time they become a man, they've already had 18 years of experience, most of which was out of their control. But you want to say it's on the men. Who raised the men? Even in a two-parent home, the mother raises the men. Even in a two-parent home. But you want to keep blaming the men. You want to bring up Adam. But who introduced sin into the fold? That would have been Eve. She went wayward first.
Bo.
But see, you don't want to say that because it doesn't fit your narrative or your talking point. That's what I'm saying.
Adam did come to both. But who was there? Who was in the Garden of Eden first? Adam or Eve? Did Adam have everything in his grasp? Yes. He had animals, trees, everything. Fruit, vegetables, whatever you know. Did he know what he had? Yes, he did. He had everything at his disposal, except for somebody to share it with. And God specifically gave him the opposite of man, which is woman. And they had a pact together. Now, were instructions laid to both? Yes. But primarily, as a man, and they didn't know that they were, and to be perfectly honest, they were spirits. Both were spirits. Before they became this weak human flesh that is what you see before you. This is just weak flesh. If you stab me, I bleed. If you punch me, I bleed. If I do something, if I fall off a bike or if I get into a car accident, bones broken, possibly death. This is weak flesh. It's not like potentially we have this soul in a minute just come out of our bodies and walk amongst the earth. I said that all wrong. But merely to say we don't operate with our third eye. Let's just say that. We don't come into this world operating with our third eye because we don't know much to know anything, right? But going back to the conversation, was it who committed the first sin? Adam or Eve? It was Adam because he knew. He was the first. He was the first soul. He was the first being that God created that was in the Garden of Eden. It wasn't Eve. It was Adam. Y'all don't like to take the risk or anything. Y'all sound weak when you do that. Y'all sound fucking weak when you do that shit. Yes, she ate the apple. Yes. She did eat the apple. Who else ate the apple? Adam ate the apple. So both were responsible for the outcomes that are happening this very day. Because of the curse, we bleed, we hurt, we get tired, we get flustered, all that in between. But it's at the mercy of God. At the mercy of God, which is in Leviticus, it is in Mark, basically in the old in the New Testament, because the Old Testament was all about capital punishment. The New Testament was for a newer beginning because the word of Jesus, God, or Christ actually, because Jade wasn't even until such time. So when Christ came down from heaven, he immediately started teaching. Let me not go on that rant.
Right? The scripture don't say Adam, derelict in his duty, left Eve alone. Scripture don't say that. Scripture say Eve took her stupid ass off, listened to another motherfucker when she already knew what was up. That's what the scripture say. But if you say that, then they might not send enough super chats over there, right? Get the fuck out of here with this shit, man. Respectfully, because you know I like you.
So first,
as a real person. But I'm saying, just be honest, bro, and tell the truth. You're not gonna get the kind of man you want as long as they're being raised by the kind of women that exist.
right.
Why is it so hard to say that?
And see, here's the thing, right? You said a lot of things, and then your conclusion was proving me and Dr. Umar right. That was your conclusion, and you don't even realize you did that. That's the funny thing, right? Because you're suggesting that, yeah, even in marriages, the mothers are raising the boys. Dr. Umar is saying, well, this is why men need to step up and take total responsibility of raising and caring for the boys and raising them as men. Because when the men step up like that, they're going to raise these boys into stronger men.
Wait, absolutely. Stay right there for 1 second for me. Let's say I agree with you. Do these men supposed to also provide completely, 100%?
Yes.
Checkmate. That's what I'm saying. Y'all want the niggas to go work for 16 hours a day and raise the kids. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I can see how they could do that.
It's crazy.
Don't we do that anyway? Don't we do that professionally? I don't know. Bridge, if you be so kind. Bridge, or if you would be so. I'm alone. I'm alone in this. I am alone. But the reason why I'm alone because I am the head of the security for the sisterhood. It don't make no sense. It makes no sense. But as a father, don't I do that anyway? 16 hours a day? That's working 2 jobs. You want to be the big head honcho, right? You don't have power. You don't have wealth. So you do what you have to do. And at the same time, you damn right, raise your freaking kids. You put them on this earth, you take responsible for them. That's like telling that's like a woman's job. She does multiple things. Do work, do your child's hair, take your son. Sometimes you really have to take your son over to the barber shop to get his hair cut. Then she has to go and cook and clean. You want her to cook, clean, and do every freaking thing else. But you don't want her to do, you don't want any responsibility. That's your problem. You don't want no responsibility if you can muster. If it was granted to you, you wouldn't want no responsibility at all. But it don't work that way. So you have to work one. Yeah, in this era, in this time, in this system, and in this inflation, yes, you're going to have to work 1 or 2 jobs. You're freaking right. You are freaking absolutely freaking right.
Crazy, right? Because Beans, they'll tell you, how can a woman work all day and raise kids, right? They're like, she got a job like a man do, right? But then tell you the man, he's supposed to have a job, provide his money, and he's supposed to be in charge of raising the kids. And when you point out that same exact thing that they get congratulated for,
Money, I'm a flex. I get that money, I'm a flex.
they don't congratulate the man for it because he's supposed to do that, which is fine, but this is some insanity. A man cannot educate the child, protect the child, raise the child, and go put 12, 14 hours a day in at work. So he needs to be paid like we pay women who don't have jobs. And their primary goal is just the children. The house. Yeah. Go ahead, Beans. You got it. Go ahead, Beans. You got it.
I'm saying y'all are right? Y'all are correct.
Oh.
And Beans mindset, right? He's looking at men from a deficit, which is why his analogy was a man with no legs, right? So in his mind, he's thinking the majority of men are moving from a deficit. They're moving for some type of inability, right? And what I'm saying is it doesn't matter how old you are as a man. You can put in your mind that you're going to renew your mind. You're going to recalibrate your value system. Even if you're 40, 50, you can have the ability to change your life for the better and put yourself in a better position to help others and to be successful, right?
Okay, so let me respond to that, right? So first of all, maybe you're right, but you can't grow new legs, right? So don't try to use my analogy against me, but then run away from it, right? My analogy didn't have anything to do with the brain. It had everything to do with the legs. And it didn't have anything to do with mankind in general. It had something to do with just making the simple point that I would look stupid telling somebody that I know who was unable to do something that they should do it because I'm ignoring their reality. That was the point. I'm not talking about men in general being at a deficit because I'm like, y'all, I don't think they are. I think the majority of black men specifically get up and go to fucking work and do their thing. I think the majority of black men make over 50K a year. I think they're doing all right. Right? That's my assessment. Y'all the ones who come on the internet every day and try to make it seem like it's something wrong with men. Have at it. Have fun with that. The numbers don't support you. Right? The majority of black men are in their children's lives actively. The numbers don't support you. Over 40% of black households have 2 parents in it. The numbers don't support y'all. It just is what it is, right? So that I let y'all talk, and then when I get frustrated, I hop up here and I try to say, listen, let's just be honest in the conversation. We don't need the talking points to address what's going on. We don't got to lie. We don't got to exaggerate. We can say what it is for real. Look here, ladies, you need to stop fucking being whores. We only need 10% of y'all to be whores. The other 90% need to be wifey type. Proverbs 31 type, virtuous women type, right? That's all we need is 10% of whores. The same way how we don't need all niggas gang banging. We don't need all niggas rapping. We don't need all niggas in the NBA. We don't need all niggas beating on their girls. All that shit. We need a minority of that shit when it comes to the men. We need a minority of that bullshit when it comes to the women. Say that shit too.
Right. And but see that unfortunately for you, Beans, that wasn't the conversation that Dr. Umar was having.
I know, I understand. I didn't, I'm be honest, wait, let me say this just so you understand. Wait, Brownville. I just want to say one thing to clear it up. I didn't see the Umar video. So everything I'm saying is only in response to what I've heard y'all say, okay? I just wanted you to know that.
And what I'm saying, Beans, I don't have any pushback for anything you said in your last soliloquy. I agree with 100% of everything you said. And you'll never hear me say anything of the contrary of what you just said, right? The issue that I have with men is when you started your soliloquy, you put men in a deficit. In your mind, that's what you did by giving us the example of the man with no legs, knowing that it's probably less than 1% of men walking around here with no legs, or not even walking around here, being pushed around here in a wheelchair because they don't have no legs, right?
But see, that's right there. That's called gaslighting, right? And that ruins conversation. So hold on, you got to stop gaslighting because I just explained that to you. That analogy had nothing to do with men in general. That analogy was about me. It had anything to do with the legless man. The analogy was about me and what I would look like, right? If I go tell this man with no legs that he need to kick it. The analogy ain't about him. It's about me. You understand? See, but you probably gonna just continue gaslighting and act like I didn't just explain that to you again for the third time. So go ahead.
Because it's a projection. So maybe you look at yourself in that inferior state. That the reason why you wouldn't be able to ascribe to what Dr. Umar is suggesting is because in your mind, you look at yourself as the legless man.
Think about that. When I just explained to him, Aaron, that I didn't even see the Umar video. See how easy this is? You and Sharon make this shit too easy. It only works on slow people, right? Which is 80% of the chats. So that's why y'all keep winning. But the fact of the matter is, I just
okay, but he doesn't necessarily, he can explain it in simple terms because what happened in the Umar video was very, very simple, and he could have explained it to you, but you end up going on your soliloquy, which you always do. Which, let me backtrack, which the majority of you often do. It's very, very simple. He said, and I quote, and I'm paraphrasing, let's take charge and take the boys and groom them to become better or young men or better men, whichever the case. That's all he said. And we can either agree or disagree. But as Aaron always does, he does the vertical stuff. Instead of going horizontal, instead of going vertical and saying, we can potentially do that because it's because of the boys. We were boys ourselves, right? We used to be boys ourselves. We used to be young men. We're not young men anymore. We're in our late 30s, early 40s, and about to be 50 years old, God willing. But we're going slowly backwards. It's always 3 steps forward, but we're going to take 6 steps back. This is the reason why I have to tell you, Brownsville, I'm with Brownsville. All the way in this. I have to be.
Explaining to you that I didn't see the Umar video. I'm only responding to what y'all have said. Checkmate. Go ahead.
You did see the video. I'm talking about the projection that you responded to, because I laid out what Dr. Umar was saying in his video. So you didn't have to see the video at that point because you heard me speaking about it, right? And then you chose to respond with the legless man analogy. That was your first response, right?
Exactly. But in that analogy, I'm not the legless man. That's the point. In that analogy, I'm the man going to the legless man. You see what I'm saying? So again, because I don't see men at a deficit like that. But if I recognize that somebody is incapable of something, that's okay with me. What I'm saying is not denying reality, because that's what you and your cousin, who I love, choose to do. Y'all choose to ignore reality for the sake of talking points. That was the part of the analogy. I don't ignore reality. It is what it is, bro. Right?
So what reality did I ignore? Substantiate your argument. What reality did I ignore about men?
Yeah. You ignore the fact that people aren't you. They don't have your experience, right? Because like you said, what I'm trying to hold people to is the way that I live my life. Well, the way you live your life, that's you. That's based on your experiences, and that equates to what you're capable of. You don't get to predetermine what everybody else is capable of just because they have a man. Right? See, that's called gender discrimination. When we do that to women, it's called sexism. When we tell them, well, you have a vagina, so therefore you are predescribed to being in a pre.
No, this is the part where we separate. This is the part where I say, fine. You don't want to listen for a reason, then fine. Let's just separate. That's fine. You said what you said, and you said it 3 times already. We heard you. We said it. We heard you. You don't want to subscribe to what we say or what our goals is. If you can't acknowledge that within the video that he can describe as simple in simple terms and as simple as what I just said a few minutes ago, then we can just separate. We don't have to talk no more.
Subscribe to being in the kitchen and being in the bedroom butt naked and pregnant, right? They call that sexual discrimination when we do it. But when you doing it to men, it's all good because Level Up and Dr. Umar and all this other bullshit. No. Don't deny reality. Stop telling these men who go through 18 fucking years of programming in these fucking households where even when it ain't a single mama, my mama wasn't fucking single ever. And that she still ran shit. She still was the man in the household. She still was the boss. Most of the time out earning the man that she chose. So that 2-parent household will be mean as shit because.
Damn. That was a good conversation too.
I don't know why they dropped beans because he was cooking them.
Well, because he wouldn't let me speak. He would cut me off every 3 or 4 words, and we could never get a bait.
And I mean, that's another thing. I wouldn't do all that. But now, I mean, if he was being disrespectful, which he wasn't being disrespectful, I mean, he was being condescending and he was going back and forth and going horizontally, but he wasn't being disrespectful. He wasn't being. I don't think he was being disrespectful, but I mean, this is YouTube. This is YouTube, and you make money off of this, so. I mean, Aaron can run it however he wants to run it. You know what I'm saying? But don't come to me with, you advocate for boys, right? And respectfully and rightfully so. But when the boys grow up to be men and they still don't have no sense of direction and they start doing things without the feminist parts because you're sick and tired of females, and I understand it completely. But every man needs a woman. So when you get sick and tired of females altogether, you start to become barbaric. And when you start to become barbaric, that means no femininity is in you. There's a percentage of femininity within the male. A percentage, just like there's a percentage of masculinity in the female. It's all balance. It's all about balance. So when the man is unbalanced, he becomes barbaric and he starts just murdering everything, deleting, whatever you want to call it. I'm not part of this system, so I can say murder, death, kill all day. So when you do a murder, death, kill, right? When you're barbaric and you end up doing that, who's left? Your women are gone, so you are a part of that Roman Greek system. And if you read the Bible, if you read biblically the Bible and what it states, what men go through in the Roman army, they're used to being around so many men that they hardly ever see a woman. Of course, they see a woman, they mate with her, they have a kid with her, and then they go back into the military. But what do you think that they're doing in the military most of those times in the Roman time?
He was cooking you up. I don't even know what he said wrong right now. Dang,
I
Kazi.
was listening intently to what he was saying, right? And what I wanted to do was just set a foundation, because he's saying that I want men to ascribe to what I'm doing, right? And I wanted to set the baseline, because what I'm saying is this, and Beans, do you think that it's abnormal, or the majority of men have an inability to be ambitious?
Absolutely not. I just think that everybody thinks that ambition has to include money.
Can I continue? Can I just give me a little bit of grace? That's all I'm asking. I'm not going to be long, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you believe that it's impossible or not feasible for the majority of men to ascribe to self-reflection?
That's a great question. Thank you for that question, because you're making me think. I heard you, but I want you to do me a favor and say it one more time out loud.
Do you believe that it's either impossible or not feasible for the majority of men to ascribe to self-reflection?
Dang, you got me.
I would say that the majority of men do, but off the top of my head, I only have one reason to say that. And
Damn,
just to
he
be
made
fair,
me
I'm gonna
go
say
back.
51%.
Hold on, that's such a good question. He made me go back.
Right? And what I wanted to do was just set a foundation, because he's saying that I want men to ascribe to what I'm doing, right? And I wanted to set the baseline, because what I'm saying is this, and Beans, do you think that it's abnormal, or the majority of men have an inability to be ambitious?
Absolutely not. I just think that everybody thinks that ambition has to include money.
Can I continue? Can I just give me a little bit of grace? That's all I'm asking. I'm not going to be long, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you believe that it's impossible or not feasible for the majority of men to ascribe to self-reflection?
Now that's a great question.
You made me think. Shit.
Thank you for that question, because you're making me think.
Self-reflection. Self-reflecting, meaning basically you're doing for self. Okay. All right. It is feasible for a man to have self-reflection, meaning it would be in his best interest to reflect on. See, what my teacher has always taught me: never stay on the same question for more than 2 minutes. So I'm gonna try my best. When it comes to this, self-reflecting means basically doing for self. So you have to look in the mirror and realize that I am a man on a mission. I am a man, and I am a man on a mission. And I have a responsibility, I have a duty to protect and provide for my family. So when I look back at things, is it right in a sense to happen to go through all these things in the system that's being put in place? No, because white people are slick. White people are slick, and they end up moving the goalpost each and every single freaking year. But they always want to put black people in positions to have these horizontal, or octagon movements and say, stop. Look at me. I'm a reflection of what should be. I'm like, yeah, and we're still 1.5% of the wealth in this country, and we don't have anything, to buy or sell in our own neighborhoods. So mess me with that stuff, unless you're going to give out reparations and everything. But I don't want to go into that rant. I'm just specifically saying we do have a self-promotion. We do have to have self-reflection upon the man, which is ourselves. I hope that makes sense, because that was a tough ass question. Shouts out to Brownsville for that.
I heard you, but I want you to do me a favor and say it one more time out loud.
Do you believe that it's either impossible or not feasible for the majority of men to ascribe to self-reflection?
Dang, you got me.
I would say that the majority of men do, but off the top of my head, I only have one reason to say that. And just to be fair, I'm gonna say 51%. Just so I don't want you to think that I'm overestimating.
Okay, so
the reason why, just so you know, the reason why I'm saying that is because in my estimation, it does seem like men more often than not take accountability.
Okay.
They might not always take responsibility, but they take accountability. And in order for you to take accountability, there has to be self-reflection. So if the majority of men are accountable to their actions, then I would say yes, the majority of men absolutely self-reflect.
That's a good answer, Beans. I respect that, bro.
Okay.
I think. Therefore, I am.
So we got ambition.
Mm-hmm.
We got self-reflection, right? Do you believe that it's impossible or not feasible for the majority of men to ascribe themselves to being dutiful?
In today's day, I would probably say, yeah, I would probably say it's not feasible. But right now, I'll be honest, I'm only talking about black men. If I include all of the other races, then absolutely, the majority of men would still subscribe or ascribe themselves to duty. But for us, maybe not so much. Record number lows in military enlistment, record number lows in marriage. So probably not.
And last but not least, right? Do you think it's impossible or not feasible for the majority of men to ascribe themselves to a higher level of self-discipline?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Again, all men, probably the majority do. Black men, 49% or less. I think when I look at well, just so you know, because I want people to know where I'm coming from. I don't want them to think I'm just making shit up. The reason why I say that is because when we look at marriage rates, what we tend to see is no matter who black men marry, those marriages be ended in divorce. Black woman, white woman, Asian woman, don't matter. So there is some, and I, if I'm just being honest, I would attribute that probably more to the lack of discipline than I would finances.
I'll look at it like this. A lot of marriages end up in divorce. That doesn't mean that the parenting stops. That doesn't mean that the protection from your children does not stop. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a child. I'll say it again. It takes a village to raise a child. You don't have to be married to raise children. You don't have to be married to have an income. We need to learn to flip the script sometimes. Because when it comes to marriages, when it came to the old ritual ways of marriage, it didn't take the ring. It took a ceremony and jumping over a broom, which means we leaped over new heights, and we are one step, two step, three steps closer to God. That's what that meant. The diamond became after those people came over there at the Congo and started lobotomizing everybody for the diamonds in the Congo. And this is the reason why the juror, let me not go all the way over there, but you don't need a whole village. You don't need a ring to be married. You don't need to have to be married to have a relationship with somebody. I mean, come on now. We gotta think differently now. Everybody's talking about marriage. Not a lot of people are getting married for obvious reasons. And not a lot of people are getting divorced because of obvious reasons. But that doesn't mean we stop in taking care of our children. It does not stop there.
But you're not saying that it's impossible, right? You're just saying
to have the expectation for them to be self-disciplined.
Right.
Yeah, it's impossible. I don't not at this current state, because I'm talking about the conversations in general, right? Across just unnecessarily. And it turned into a bunch of micromanaging. One manager come and send you in to the left, another manager come send you to the right. Now you don't know what to do. That's how real life is. Because you tried to date a chick. That's the point. If you understand that this shit is counterproductive one way, why produce the same thing in the opposite? I don't understand. Oh no, I'm sorry. I do understand it because the women be super chatting and cash apping, right? So that's my point, bro. That's what I'm saying. I believe that you actually care. See, that's the difference between a lot of these niggas. It ain't your channel. You ain't there for the super chats. I think you actually care. Nobody is gonna sit on these panels, not curse, speak from the heart, use the word the way you use it, and then not be authentic, right? But you can't also tell Aaron, hey, chastise these men when they coming at the women, and then say, but it makes sense to allow the women to have their retort. When the men are literally retorting after 50, 60 years of straight media slander.
Yeah,
That's
Brownsville.
what it is.
You
Y'all
gotta
don't like
stand
it, but
down,
it
bro.
is, B-Ville. That's what it is.
We doing the same shit over there. We do the
So
same shit.
basically, you're punishing, or not you.
Yeah.
The space is punishing these women because what was going on Oprah's show and Ricky Lake and all these other shows and all these other media channels.
To be fair, to some degree, yes, absolutely.
And that's disheartening to me, because at some point you got to get over that pain, man.
Please.
You got to have some resilience, right? That's why I speak to stoicism.
Please, most of us were watching the Ricky Lake show. It was interesting back then.
A lot, right? Stoicism is the ability to endure pain without complaining, and I think that's necessary for men to move in this world to the pathways of righteousness and success.
I seen Fatty.
But obviously, what the money is, wherever the bread and butter is, that's what most people go for, right?
Eyelash wearing ass chicks, because that's the majority of what they're offering us, and we're not going to just
No. Listen, no. What I'm saying is that
like we're
men
all
will fall
losers
in,
on YouTube.
Men, stop. Men will fall in love with an avatar. Men will fall in love with a PlayStation woman that they play PlayStation every day, and they have no idea how she looks just because she has a soft voice and she's nice. Men are starving. You are falling in love with this woman that have no looks, no nothing. So who are you talking about, bro? Like, what the hell? Like, what the hell is going on?
Okay, so you're going high and low up the scale. If you're talking about men at the bottom, those men could get women if they just go outside, right? They're in the house too much, right? Okay, so if you say they starving and you saying, okay, so why can't these guys get women if they're going out there every day? they're getting into dates and they're meeting women and they're having conversations every day with different women to try to find the one. Why
That's
can't
not
they do it?
no,
It's
you're
women's
moving
fault.
the goalpost again. I'm talking about them. I'm talking about.
Yeah,
God damn.
yeah.
You
He's
hold
saying
on one
stay
second.
on task, right?
You
Answer
have to.
his question, which is specifically saying, who are these women that you're talking about? Because if we can see these other women who are, for the sake of argument, I'm not addressing anybody specifically, but if they are pretty mediocre and they getting mad attention, there's no way we can assume that these other women aren't getting attention. That's why I tried to give you the out. If you're saying that men aren't seeking them for relationships, then I would have to concede to that based on the fact that I'm even saying that these women are higher education, probably higher income, right, of a higher status, and most men wouldn't qualify for them in their opinion, right? I would have to concede, but you're saying either way, even just including sex, stop it.
These men
Come on, bro.
cannot get these women unless they have a high level of attraction or a high level of education.
That's not what
These
we're
women
talking about. You're not listening.
Yeah, but
You
that's
are
what
not
we was
listening.
talking about.
No,
That's what
no,
he just
you are not. No, you are not listening. Who are these women that are not getting attention from men? Either relationship, sex,
I never
validation,
said they're not
time.
getting
Who are these? No, no,
attention.
no. 1 second.
I
Who
said
are
they're
these women?
getting-
Where are they?
Men are ignoring those women that have the mid booties, right? The little.
Who are these women?
Okay.
Mid booties.
You don't even see them apparently.
So you think a woman that have a you think a woman that has a mid booty works in a gas station does
I would have to disagree. Even, I mean, I love a big ass myself, but I mean, there's some women out there with the most skinniest, the black women, the most skinniest asses know how to let me yeah.
get all of their 10 times a day, or a woman that is a waitress, works in an hotel. All these mid women are getting a tremendous amount of attention. What are you talking about?
That's
okay.
Ask your co-workers how many times they get all added when they're mediocre. They're a tree.
I never said they wasn't getting attention. I keep saying
no. Yes, you said men ignore them. Men don't want them. That's what you said. Who are these women?
Because okay, hold on. Aaron was talking about a specific group of men that went after the booty shaking women like Cardi B, the women that rob dudes like Cardi B, the women that have done like be putting babies on dudes like 2 times, right? That is what you was just talking about. You were speaking of those type of women, and then I went, but that is a version of women out there, but then there's this other version that you could go after. That's what we were speaking of.
And who are they? Yes, who are they? Where are they?
They're around, bro. 10%.
Give me an example of a woman on this place that is not like people are not looking after.
I'm not.
Lily, you are the one of the messiest people around. Now say it. Use your motherfucking mouth and say it. Yes. Just tell me a name.
Say what? Of who?
Tell me a woman on this space that if she want to, she couldn't have 2 or 3 guys all in at her and trying to get attention, validation, and whatever. Tell me a name.
Well, women will always get attention, though, fatty. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
oh my God,
attention.
That's what
you
we
could
said.
get attention, but at the end of the day, you're gonna ignore her. You're not gonna be like, I'm not gonna take her on a date because it look like I ain't gonna be able to smash quick enough, or I ain't gonna do this because it look like I'm not gonna be able to get this through, or I ain't gonna do this because she look like man, she gonna be on to that. That's what I'm talking about when I say they ignore her.
Ridiculous.
But yo, hold on, slow down. If she is attractive, how could I dare say that she's getting no attention? That sounds ridiculous. That was never what I was saying.
We said, what exactly did you mean by that? We're ignoring, or the men are ignoring them?
I was trying to explain it.
Yeah,
I was trying to explain it, and then I just did, right?
Okay,
so who are they?
Who are those?
Even three that thing go to the trees.
It's a fair question, because if you name somebody from the space, we'll all know who it is, right? So,
I mean, well, me and Beans already explained. Well, you want me to name somebody from the space that's like that?
Yeah, that's not getting attention, and that she wouldn't get attention even if she tried harder. She wouldn't get attention.
I think all the women will get attention, but
no, romantic attention. I'm not talking about friendship. Romantic attention. Men actually
like
declare themselves to
no,
them.
I'm saying like trying to have sex with them. That's what dudes be trying to do, right?
Sir, romantic. Let's go with romantic because is actually more a branch. Actually gets the sexual and the relationship gets both. I'm looking at a woman romantically. Tell me a woman in this space that if she doesn't want to or she doesn't work hard enough, she will still not get attention from 5 men. One. I just need one.
I think all women can get attention. I think they
But
can
the
all
way
get
you mentioned
attention.
though, when you said that we ignore them, tell us the woman who will be ignored.
That sounds like a man problem. That because I don't know of one woman who does not get attention. Who does not get attention. I can't name not one. that makes no sense. This is definitely a man's issue because they're the ones that are getting ignored. I don't know any woman at home that would get ignored. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Or
The women that are not, the women that can see through the bullshit that a specific man is trying to play, whether he shows red flags, whether
it is a mess because Fatty don't get attention. He don't get attention like that. I can't say the same for Beans because Beans is married. I can't say the same for Unlikely because he gets attention. He's in Florida. And for those people in, I believe it was Tampa, Florida, those who were victims of the hurricane, may you rest in power. For those who were in the hurricane and the lights aren't on yet, still looking for water, food, and shelter. May God be with you. Definitely, may God be with you. And I was supposed to do this a long time ago. Let me do this now. Let's just take a little bit of a commercial. But some get attention on YouTube. I only know one nigga that gets attention on YouTube, and he's the loudest nigga on earth, and that's not Black Men, because the one I'm thinking about. Fantastic, Mr. Fantastic, Black Month. But we got to get to this commercial break.
Get ready for the most glamorous event of the year, the U2B Streets Awards 2025. February 9, 2025 at Laven Midtown, located at 641 West 42nd Street, New York City. Join us at 12 p.m. for the pre-show red carpet extravaganza and a chance to win $500 in our fashion contest. From 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., enjoy the gold tier experience with speakeasy confessionals, press interviews, and premium cocktails. At 4 p.m., the platinum tier includes performances, a comedic host, an award ceremony, dinner, and gift bags. From 8 p.m., the diamond tier features a VIP after party with a DJ, aerial dance, fire performances, and gift bags. 24 YouTube categories. And many nominees. Can't attend in person? Stream the entire event live on Hush and Move Media via Uscreen for just $9.99. Get your early bird tickets before September 15, 2024. Visit now. Be a sponsor. Be extraordinary. Be there. Be great.
Okay, let's say this: if you haven't got your tickets now, please get your ticket. Please get your tickets before they run out. And I believe they're at a decent price. Or if you can't make it to the event, please see it on YouTube for just $10. Now, with that being said, yes, this is Trisha's event. Yes, it is. And like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you have not yet done it, please become a member of We-On-Loc Nation, aka the Loc Sector. And please support the channel if you can, with a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Support. Now let's continue.
That he demonstrates some act that her dad told her to look out for. Those type of women are the ones that guys will see them like, damn, she look good, and then he hit her with the hey boo or some shit like that, and then she say something like, my name ain't boo.
Okay.
You know, like the ones that you could tell that they like, we know the ones that are kind of quote unquote like bimbos, and then the ones that are kind of like on point. And I'm saying,
So
guys,
like
ignore
Q. You mean like Q? That sounds like
right in a way, right? Like Q has never. Well, I don't really know none of these women on here. Like, okay, you telling
she
me
look
like,
good, she's educated, she got the bags, you know, but she definitely won't be impressed by the yo baby yo shit, right? And so for that matter, it's probably not a lot of dudes they still having sex too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. They fucking too.
Yeah, I mean, I can't knock that, man, because
as soon as I say something, there he is. Dang.
I've been a part of it. I don't know what to.
Yeah, most men are not confident. So I would say the large majority of men are actually romantics. They actually think the stuff that they saw on TV and stuff is what they have to do to get women. The problem with a lot of men is that they utilize how they are and they project that to the men around them. Oh yeah, you know, me and my homies get chicks. Bro, if that was the majority of us, it's at least one of us, multiply that by 5, the majority of men would not pay for nothing. Because y'all be like, I get chicks just how good I am, I don't have to pay for nothing. So why are men paying? Why are these online sites sold out? These men, these are not the first things that are on their mind. These men are actually in love with women that they never even touched before. Like Fatty was saying, like they actually, oh my God, I would marry you in a heartbeat. Those women don't want those men is what we overlooking. I don't believe the majority of men are confident in their sex game at all. They nervous as hell. Don't be knowing what they doing. And that's why the few amount of men that's out here knocking them down keep knocking them down because they like, ooh, girl, woo, woo, woo. And he ain't trying to settle down because he know how to knock them down. But a lot of men, you be like, oh, you can have her, bro. You can have a relationship. I'm not on that. I believe the large majority of men are actually not thinking about, I just want to sleep with women. They don't think they want. Go ahead, Maddie.
Did you saw the OnlyFans CEO got $1 billion in dividends on the last 3? How many men are there, bro? How many millions of men are there? Men are starving, man. At some point of time, you guys have to admit these women are immortal. They have 1,000 lives. No matter, they can do every single one of these men dirty.
Nope. Not going there. Nope. Women ain't got no fucking power. I'm just gonna say it off rip. Women ain't got no damn power.
And then as soon as they get to the next one is going to say, like Aaron says, oh, he didn't have the right direction. Oh, they don't know how to lead her. Oh, she's hurt and she needs some healing. It doesn't happen. Like, I'm going to cover a story about a guy. Like, they put the story of a guy that looks like a Chad, right? Like a Brad Pitt on steroids on Tinder. And the description said, I have multiple domestic violence cases for putting hands on women. Got 800 matches in 48 hours. Respectfully.
Okay.
Stop with the bullshit. Stop with the bullshit.
Well, no. I think this is a problem I have when y'all do this, and I guess it's similar to what y'all was just talking about. Bro, y'all attribute the 10% of women, like the finest fucking women's traits, to every woman, bro. That's not how it is. Even
what does that mean?
It means that very, very few women. There's a very limited amount of women that get the shit you're talking about.
No, you're missing the point. You are not. You don't know what I'm talking about. I said the OnlyFans CEO got paid $1 billion in dividends on the last 3 years. What I'm telling you is this: these men are starving for attention because porn is for free. They want the connection. They want the messages. They want the conversation. They want the back and forth. They could literally go to Twitter. Twitter is a porn site right now for free. You can literally watch it if you want to. They want the connection. And this is what I'm talking about. You can't be telling that these women don't get men. Like, you can't tell that these women are not look over when every woman on this planet, as long as she is warm and as a pulse, has 3 or 4 guys around trying to get at her. That's impossible. That's why Lee is wrong.
That's what I'm saying, Fatty. So it's still, that's 1% of the fucking women. all the rest of these bitches, they barely scraping by on fucking OnlyFans. The average, including the highest earners, the average fucking payment on fucking OnlyFans, bro, is like $200.
That's not the point.
You still miss the point.
Wait, stop right there. No, stop right there. Let's stay on that point, right? It doesn't matter if 100,000 guys are looking at the same girl. Now, you might be right. The majority of the girls ain't getting no attention. They ain't making no dollars. But 100,000 of those guys are looking at the same one. So it's the same attention, folk fixated on one of the top ones there.
Yeah.
So
I'm agreeing with that point, but I think where y'all are missing me at is like that don't matter. It's always been that way. The most attractive women.
Yeah,
but
you're missing the original point. The original point was that Liz said, you guys are not looking at this woman. You guys are ignoring a certain subset of woman that doesn't have a big booty, big titties, dress some type of way.
I don't even want to get into this conversation. I do not. Because, I mean, y'all focusing on OnlyFans. What's the point? I get the point. The point is, no matter where they are in life, online, offline, if you got one girl that like 1,000 people like, they'll fall head over heels, or they'll kill for that one woman. It's just stupid. So I don't get any of these freaking conversations. Like who you like. As long as you respect that woman for who she is, it is what it should be. And this is the reason why I respect my woman that I've been with for 27 years. Do you know how long that is? 27 years. Or 26, 27 years, whatever it is. I've been with her since 08. No, wait. I'm sorry. I've been knowing her since 05. It's a long time. A long time, off and on. Been married to this woman, the same woman, for 15 years. And she didn't look at me as, this and that and this. I didn't look at her as this and that and that and this. I went up to her because I had number one, I had courage. I had courage, I had respect, and I had balls. When are you going to start growing your balls? I wonder, is there a heaven for a person like me? Because I can see all these guys with the spirit of anger, raging. This is We-On-Loc Nation signing off. I gotta go. Peace.